go live, and then we're gonna click this, which is gonna have this.
You don't get to know.
Guys, he touched it just right.
Hello, everybody. If you are here, I don't even know if we're live right now. I have no clue, but we might be, and if we are, hello. I will know for sure if we are in a second. So, actually, you, the viewer, hold on a second.
It just popped up on my iPad.
Okay, cool.
Live.
Does it look like it's going in and out? Nope, looks good now on my side. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to our, oh, man, I did this last time. I don't know how to say this. Our many times a week campaign in IMEA, specifically South IMEA for this group. This is our Wednesday night Mongoose crew group. We are excited to start in basically picking up the pieces of the aftermath of a very, very large fight between, well, we'll kind of get into it as we go along. So without further ado, Mighty Scribe, would you do the honors, please?
Yes. Luckily, well, not luckily, I guess, we had an epic battle, so the notes are sparse, so this will go quick. We had an epic battle with a Marid, which is a underwater genie. There we go. Yeah. So during this battle, one of our NPCs, Catherine, died. Eldrin almost died, but Guar was able to keep her alive by just kept healing her, which was wonderful, instead of fighting. Milo and Saren were friggin' badasses. And got a lot of, Milo got a lot of one-on-one, face-to-face with the Marid, and then Theron did a lot of damage to it. Wilbur got the killing blow, which was awesome. And once that happened, the remaining, I don't know how many were left alive, but the remaining Ixochitl ran away kind of scared because their godlike thing was dead, and, you know, they were being made into terrorists. And, you know, not the most important thing. It's whatever. Saren might be possessed. We don't know. Because basically the thing inside of the Marid came out, the spirit or whatever, and went into Saren. Maybe. We'll see. She's fine. She's just joking.
Suspicious pink spirit.
She's just being a little rascal.
Just being a little rascal. Fantastic. Cool. Anything else? Any other stuff we need to address before we get into it? All right. Cool. Well, without further ado, I would like everybody to roll initiative.
No.
No.
Yes, please.
Damn it.
Sweating's horse shit.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the chat.
I rolled though.
Yes, please go ahead and put it in the chat.
God damn it.
Be so kind.
Oh, wow, I'm not last.
You're welcome.
I'm probably last.
You're making me open Noros' character sheet thing again.
I'm going to say for this purposes, it's just going to be Eldrin, so we're going to ignore Noros.
Well, we need him.
2, 3, 4, 5.
She's used to ignoring him.
We're going to ignore us.
So if it's to save Saren, we need him because he's the only one that has the thingy that we need.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I love it. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we're going to start with Noros. So just kind of bringing everybody back into this scene. We have this, Milo did the killing blow, right?
No. Wilbur did.
Milo didn't do it.
I did it.
Yeah, Wilbur. Do you not listen to my recap?
I did. I specifically heard you say Milo, and that's why I'm confused. Okay, cool. So Wilbur, you loose the arrow, goes right through. You see this being fall to the ground, and before it kind of falls to the ground, you see it kind of like seem to flatten out slightly, as if it was like kind of giving out this like really big sigh. As as it comes down to about Elgin's level, Elgin, you saw this big, this kind of wisp of sort of like this pink, sort of smoky energy leave out of the mouth of this Marid and go directly into you, surpasses past the bottle that you put in front of it, and goes directly into your mouth, and you instantly went unconscious. So from Nora's perspective, seeing that, Noros just sees the Marid body kind of go fully limp and drop to the ground in a very like amphibious sort of thing where there's not a ton of bones. There's probably just more of like skin and just loose tendon that kind of like almost makes it look a little bit deflated in a weird way. But seeing just the black of the eyes, and then also seeing Saren also slowly descend down as well, clearly unconscious. What does Noros do? Also, important point. As soon as the exits Chittle see this, they all scatter. So you see them quickly swim away from this moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say we probably told Noros enough about Tall and everything, and he knows what that potion is, that he would go to Saren to put it in her mouth.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
I think Noros kind of catches Saren as she descends down, takes out the bottle immediately, thunk, and tries to just put it directly into her mouth. And I think from Noros' perspective, you see Saren's body completely limp. It's eerily close to the same sort of like I'm trying to think of like in Norse perspective what's happening. There's a sense of like immediate kind of cold energy. I think with Tritons, we never really discussed this, but I imagine Tritons to be like cold-blooded.
Yeah, they have the advantage and whatever it is, that is resistant to the cold.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I would say any sort of connection that Noros had with anyone at any point in time that was not that was human in any way or elven would have noticed immediately that sort of like heat source of energy. Noros feels Saren's body is immediately cold.
Okay.
Okay. Elgin, it's your turn.
I'm going to say Norris is going to mention that, and Eldrin will go over there, and she doesn't have really anything left, but she's going to she's gonna touch Saren and cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. All right. Roll me an Arcana check for Saren.
Okay.
I'll say actually it could be a religion check if that's higher.
Yes. And if I'm allowed to guide myself, can I do that? I don't know how it works.
I'm gonna say no. This is
Okay.
like split second decision stuff.
Okay. You guys love me. It's 7.
7. Okay.
Get new dice.
I mean, I have inspiration. I can re-roll it if you guys really want me to. I'll re-roll it. I feel like this is important. That would be a 17.
17. Okay.
Thank God.
Interesting. So you cast Spare the Dying on the body, and you feel.
Oh wait, no, it's a 19.
19. Okay. As you kind of touch Saren, probably like around the neck area, you can sense just a faint heartbeat
Okay.
And I'd say one of the reasons that you're sensing it is because one of the things that kind of helps you sensing it is that it seems to be erratic.
Oh.
Within a span of, we'll say like the 6-second window of a round, you feel it speed up quickly and then
Okay.
seem like it almost stops and it keeps going. And it seems to be cycling through something like around it, and it's not, there's no cyclical sort of feeling to it. There's no pattern recognition. It's all over the map.
Does my Spare the Dying actually stabilize her?
You do feel a heartbeat, so you feel like in this case, she does seem to be alive.
Okay. And I mean, I can't do anything else. I was gonna say, like, can I try and give her the potion that Norris was trying to give her? But that's my turn.
No, I thought Nora said that.
Oh, I didn't know it did anything. You didn't mention if it did anything.
Yeah, so Noros did take the bottle out.
Okay, so okay, all right.
Yeah. Remember, this is all slow motion. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Guar, what are you doing?
Is going from a scream of triumph to seeing the pink berm thing possess Saren. So he's like, ah! Like just lots of screaming, but it goes from joyful to, God damn it, not again. But also there's like a little bit of Guar that's like, at least it's not me this time, which is cool. So he would immediately start running toward Saren and seeing. But I would imagine, like, while he's going toward them, he sees Noros pour the potion. He sees Eldrin cast a spell, so he's probably like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Now I'm just going to be there.
Cool. All right.
Can I throw one more thing in?
Yeah, please.
So I would say the other thing he would do would be to look around to see where those bombs are, to see if there's a way to, like, diffuse them.
I would say, judging from the plans that you saw, that they are everywhere.
But I just mean the ones in this room.
Oh, I'd say, yeah, you probably see that, like, based on the plans that you have, you see there are a couple that seem to be stationed. I'd say probably the entrance of where you came.
Okay.
This wall itself doesn't seem to have any attached to it right now.
Okay.
So, Saren, I know you're next, but I'm gonna have the others go first. So, Milo,
sees everything happening with Saren and knows that he doesn't have anything to offer, really. And he's still hurting from the fight. And he sees this djinn fall essentially at his feet. And he's gonna go over and inspect the body and look at. He's gonna try and find anything magical, but anything like magically interesting or whatever, magically delicious.
okay.
But really, what he's thinking about is the times he's seen Guar's brother, various other people affected in a similar way, and that this was a whole person. He's going to remember this was a whole person. And he wants to try and, like, find a wallet, see if there's see like who this Murid was.
Okay, cool. I'd like you to give me a perception check first.
Mm-hmm. That was 21.
21. Cool. I think with the 21, you're noticing that this figure itself doesn't seem like there's no pockets. There's a vest that the djinn wears, but actually, I might as well just do it now. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
It was. My investigation sucked. 16.
16. With a 16, you see a giant dog coming into the camera. No. You see I think you see a couple things. One thing you notice is that as you're kind of like looking, you kind of like open the vest, try to kind of look inside. All the while seemingly being respectful to the dead, I guess, in this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is kind of Milo. Milo is doing this largely because this could have been Guar. Like, this could have been somebody he knew.
Right. You see, first off, the djinn looks kind of like it was like clutching his heart. So as you kind of lift the vest away, you see that it looks like it was a little bit more towards the center, as you're able to kind of pull the vest away. And you notice that there's like a glint, a kind of like shiny sort of like almost like a spark in the way that it's produced, because it's so dark down here that it's hard to see. But for a second, you see this metallic sort of glint at the collarbone around the Merid. And you notice that, okay, the Merid is actually clutching something. You also notice that with that glint, you look up and you see that there is no roof to this place. You're looking straight up, miles and miles and miles below the ocean surface, but you imagine that there was in some strange way, light seemed to make its way down here. If just for a second. So yeah, you see the djinn is holding something in its hand. And I think you like gingerly kind of take the fingers off, and you see it is this amulet that is of a very like dark gold. But inside you see this like I want to say it's almost jade, but it's like a little bit of a lighter shade than jade. It's very much like a turquoise sort of, maybe seafoam would be a better way to kind of like talk about, but it has this it looks like some sort of encrusted gem that is like a jewel cut sort of thing inside.
Milo's going to I was going to take that off of his neck.
Okay.
And then kind of put like as he looks, are there any other like notable scars or any other like?
Yeah, I think you notice I think you got 16 on investigation.
Mm-hmm.
I think you notice that as you're looking at the skin of this creature, it's hard to tell what are scars and what are essentially like breathable flaps. This body itself has this like I said, somewhat amphibious, so somewhat frog-like, but also very fish-like as well. You see along the like the belly and like its stomach looks very like smooth, but the like kind of like tops of the shoulders coming down have these little kind of scaly sort of ridges. You see scars that are kind of like along its face, and you kind of like surmise that the face itself is actually the only place where it like wouldn't quickly heal, as the skin just looks kind of like a weird mixture of the two. I would say nothing necessarily noticeable. There are scars on the face, but not, but definitely not like telling.
Okay. Yeah, Milo's gonna kind of look at this. Is there anything, any identifying marks or anything, like, but I know he's a djinn, so there's not really, I don't, Milo's not gonna think he's of any, like, he's of any station or anything like that, but, is there anything, like a, like family or anything like that on him? On the amulet?
On the amulet, yeah. You turn the amulet over and you see there is there does seem to be something inscribed on the back of this amulet, but you can't read it. I don't think. Just make sure.
Unless it's common
No,
or
you can't read it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wilbur.
Actually, it's Starbucks' turn.
Starbucks.
So I think when Wilbur delivers that final blow and watches the djinn fall essentially to the seafloor, and then immediately watch the pink spirit, whatever you would call it, seemingly possess or take over Saren, and in Wilbur's eyes kill her, he is immediately overridden with guilt, and starts yelling, "What have I done? I shouldn't have killed that thing. I should have figured out another way." Okay, ma'am. And knowing, like, the guilt only made more terrible by knowing that Wilbur has no, like, healing capabilities for others. So I think he would just frantically be searching for, how are we going to get out of here? How are we going to get Saren out of here?
Okay. Okay. Wilbur, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, man. 16.
Okay. I will roll for it then. Okay. Wilbur, you start to, like, take your bow off your shoulder, and you feel it kind of, like, almost seem like it gets stuck on the collar that is on your, like, collar that is allowing you to breathe underwater. And you're wrenching it off, trying to kind of, like, get closer and to get to a point where you could feel like you could do something, or even just kind of, like, being able to create space between yourself. And as you're trying to wrench this, you feel like this, like, kind of electrical sort of energy sort of spark through you, and everybody around can actually see there's this very, like, it's almost like a force field sort of thing that seems to be getting bigger and bigger. So there's this, like, sort of, it just kind of starts in the hands and then and Wilbur, you rip the I think you break your bowstring. So you rip the bow from your body as you're rushing over. And in doing so, we'll say Quar, because you're the only one that's not. I wouldn't say that you're particularly paying attention to anything. Quar, roll me a perception check.
16.
16. Okay. As you see like this, it's hard to kind of look away as you see Wilbur kind of do this. You see like kind of the blue tinge seem to happen on like almost like highlights of the hair all around. And you see the bowstring just rip off, and you also see the collar break off and go floating into the air as Wilbur comes running over.
I grab the collar immediately.
Okay.
And I would check it. Does it still work?
It's completely broken in half. You look over at Wilbur, who's now sitting. Like I imagine you guys have kind of a semicircle around Saren right now. Wilbur does not seem to notice that the collar has stopped.
I would say I would like trudge over to Wilbur to like and check Wilbur to see, is Wilbur in primordial mode? Is Wilbur okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm ready to take my collar off and give it to Wilbur.
Sure. Yeah, and I feel like you start to do that, and there's like you notice like there is this kind of like primeval sort of body presence where you still see that sort of like
aura.
That aura sort of have like this woo, woo. And it's kind of just going in and out. Do you say anything to Wilbur?
No, because I'm ready to. I know enough about magic at this point to just kind of take. I'm gonna watch very carefully and make sure that if there's any sign of struggle on Wilbur's part, I'm gonna give him my collar.
You don't see any struggle.
Okay.
And I think Wilbur, I think in character, there's no way you notice this, right? Because you're kind of in this like
frantic
sort of mode, right? Wilbur, you're having no trouble breathing.
I'm an aquatic wombat.
If you look at your transformation level 3, you now have literally what's known as primeval body. Your transformation to an elemental form has changed your body entirely. You no longer need to sleep, breathe, or eat. You also gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks.
See, Wilbur, every time you get stressed, you get more powers.
Cool. All right. Saren. Saren, roll me a d20, please.
11.
11. Okay. And then I would like you to roll me a very important Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
Is she within 10 feet of me?
She is.
Okay.
I will
+4.
say, for the purposes of this,
okay,
this wouldn't work.
Okay, fine. God damn it. I tried.
Nat 20.
I knew it!
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
22.
The Constitution saving throw here was a little bit more of a choice thing that happens. So I'll give you this with a nat 20. Saren, we flash forward to inside Saren's mind, and you are in this kind of imagine it as just being a cabin. One bedroom. You see there's like kind of a bed that seems to be off to the side, but it's kind of hard to notice. It almost seems like it's blurry, and I think a lot of that is based on the idea of like it's kind of on a peripheral sort of viewpoint from you. So I would say it's like kind of off to the side. And you see, you kind of have this like weird sort of split vision sort of thing as you see the entire cabin itself has this weird kind of pinkish hue. And you're inside it. You can see, you can almost kind of feel, you can see the like wood, the grains of the wood of the walls, along the floors, even the ceiling. But it is like everything has been dipped in like a, like you're like looking through like pink colored water, slightly obscured, but for the most part you can see pretty much exactly what's in front of you. Maybe the sides are a little blurred. You have your vision almost completely split in a way of like how I would like kind of envision like somewhat like what a fly would have, like having those like sort of like multiple sort of lenses. So you it's almost like you're looking through two different lenses. And you see the same door, but you see the door on your left side and you see the door on your right side, and they're not together. They're not one thing. It's like you're looking at two different lenses that both have doors in them, and they're kind of mirrored to each other. So, Saren, left to right?
Left.
Okay. You open the door to the left. And as soon as you open the door, the pink disappears. It goes to a very dark, almost like noir type of look of black and white. And you've made your choice, and you decide to kind of move forward through it. We're going to pause you there as we come back up to, I mean, it's Nora's turn if Nora's wants to do anything, but essentially it's Eldrin's turn now at this point. Eldrin, you feel the pulse disappear.
Okay. If Eldrin feels the pulse disappear, she doesn't have anything else she can do spell-wise, so she's gonna start looking frantically around for a way out, because she's thinking like that we're gonna need to get Theron out of here. I mean, they're in a temple of Persona, so her thought is we'll find another cleric here. So she's gonna look around. I know that it was blocked where we originally came in from, but I mean, you had mentioned, I know Eldrin doesn't see this, but you had mentioned Milo sees like that it's can you swim up, like?
Yeah. So Milo, you could, like, as they're looking around, I think Milo, you can point up if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Milo's gonna like mention that it doesn't seem like this place ends.
So Eldrin starts saying, this isn't working, and like starts taking her armor off because she can't swim. And so it's gonna take longer than the 6 seconds, but it's gonna do whatever she can do to try and get Saren out of here.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing in this case is that you're worried about like the latches and I would say most of the time when you're worrying about taking armor off, you want to make sure that you're careful with like everything that's used to fasten it. I do imagine it's easier to take armor off than to put armor on. So I'd say with Noros's help, I'd say it takes you a full round to get all your armor off.
Okay, and I tell Noros that we need to. Actually, I tell everyone. I say we need to get her out of here, and we need to grab Catherine and Erlin as well. And Eldrin's like, we'll fix this. Prasanna, he'll help. We'll fix this.
Okay.
But she's panicking.
Yeah. Makes sense. Guar. This is up to you as far as the response on this, but I would say the panic may get a little deeper as you see, as the heartbeat kind of has like disappeared, and you see Eldrin kind of looking around frantically. You do see Saren's eyes almost like flicker open and glow pink for a second, and then seem to like in like a reverse sort of like glaucoma sort of pop. Seems to just like you see little smoke sort of things just pop out of the eyes, and like just puffs of air, except that it has this pink sort of smoke. I'm gonna say that you're so connected with the things with Tal, you get the idea that Tal is no longer in this body, that the potion did work.
Okay. I would relay that immediately to the group.
Cool. You guys like quick look back, just enough time to be able to see the puff of smoke just start to disappear. Of this pinkish sort of smoke.
Milo's going to say, "Great, is she up?"
It doesn't look like it. We need to get her to safety immediately. Would cure wounds work here at all? I mean, no, because I mean she's got hit points, so I was gonna say like that's all I can do as far as like I have 5 lay on hands points left, but that's still
I mean, you
just
could try it because she's unconscious, so technically that means she's supposed to have 0 hit points now.
You know what? I'm gonna use lay on hands because I don't know. I just feel like that's holier. So I'm gonna. Guar's gonna use his last 5 lay on hands for Saren, and he remembers back whenever he on the roof whenever Eldrin and Noros decided to get married, and I was able to do that extra. I don't know. There's some sort of like I don't know the power of love or whatever, but that helped. I don't know. So he's just thinking like maybe that'll do something. So he gives the last 5 lay on hands points to Saren.
Very cool. Roll me a religion check as you do that.
Okay. +4. That is 13.
Okay. Okay. Guar, you are.
Don't say possessed.
You have been healing people, especially tonight, long enough to know the difference when something is rejected.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that in this case, the only reason a body would reject this type of healing is if it's no longer on this plane, or the soul is no longer on this plane.
Or screams no. And then I would say I would turn around to Wilbur and say, Wilbur, she's not on this plane. Can you find her? But in Guar's voice.
Okay. Interesting. Wilbur, you can respond.
Wilbur, I feel like at this point Wilbur has like just tears in his eyes. He's just sobbing. Probably still not recognizing that he's breathing underwater, essentially.
Kayla, check your Discord.
It just says you're dead.
It just says you're dead, lol.
You and dead aren't even spelled correct.
That would be so bad.
URDED.
Yep.
So Wilbur will try to see through her eyes, I guess through her soul's eyes rather. And I think at this moment he would like put his paw out and like grab Saren's hand and say, "I wish to see through Saren's eyes."
Oh boy. I need to check on that one. Holy shit.
What you want? What you want? Try me, bitch.
I wasn't ready for that one, obviously.
Sorry, bitch. Miranda's ready.
I need a religion check. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I need a nature check.
Can I guide her?
I'll roll for it. No.
$22.
Eldrin put her
You
hand,
did
her
say
hand on
you
you.
rolled an 8. You rolled an 18.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Eldrin puts her hand on you, and you're like, "Bitch, I don't need you."
Okay,
Yeah,
this is cool. This is very cool. I love this. This is very cool.
Primordial.
You speak primordial. I am primordial.
We are not the same.
See, Wilbur's done a pretty good job of like understanding how this stuff works. So Wilbur's done like a pretty good, like Wilbur probably doesn't even need to necessarily sit down anymore when he does this or when they do this. You see Wilbur completely collapse to the ground.
I'm gonna run over and scoop up Wilbur to make sure that Wilbur's breathing.
Nope, not breathing.
God damn it!
Eldrin's like, "Everyone stop trying things and let's get the hell out of here."
No, this is, also, by the way, Guar, if you want to swim up out of here, you're going to have to get rid of your armor.
I can walk back the way we came.
You could.
No, we got closed
blocked,
in,
though.
didn't we?
God damn it. I'm gonna lose my armor?
You can bring it
Come
with
back
you. You just
for
can't.
it.
Wow, so I can swim while holding it, but not while I'm
Oh,
wearing
never
it?
mind. You're right. You're
I don't
right.
think that's how that works.
We need
I'm like, you
that.
can just hold
I mean,
it.
in a video game world, yeah, you could just stuff it into a bag.
It's fine.
Can we just bring that rock that we had from the art heist into this campaign?
Yeah,
So we
right.
have our own little portable closet.
Portable hole.
We
Wait,
had
I-
it at Andy Haver's sack, but Joe took
Can
it
I
from me.
can I roll for it? Can I roll for it?
No,
I mean,
no.
I
you
guess
can't.
I'm gonna have
Especially
to.
not you.
Are we still going in turns? Is it Milo's? 'Cause I want to do something. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, Milo is at a loss. He's just kind of staring at this amulet, hanging out in between like I picture everybody as like gathered around Wilbur and Saren over here, and then the Merit is over here, and Milo's like kind of in the center, in between them, and is like he sees no way out. He doesn't like he grew up swimming in a river, but like not that strong. Like I don't like he's not comfortable being this deep underwater. So he's like not even sure he can make it up as far as he sees we need to go. So he's just gonna sit here and continue kind of looking back and forth between the Marid and Saren.
Okay.
You do notice,
Saren, I need an answer.
Am I allowed to talk to like give Milo an idea on something or try to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Talk about board.
Yeah, so Eldrin says to Milo, like, you're stupid crab. There's a big opening. Can you call it down here or something? It's connected to you, right? Have you figured that out yet?
I've never tried whistling underwater, but
Glub glub.
And I was like, you're a monk. You talk to your mentor in your mind, right? Can't you talk to, what do you call it, Duchess?
Milo's gonna be like, I mean,
there's no mirror, right?
it's worth a shot. Is it Saren's turn now, or is Milo still going?
I mean, you guys. I mean, you can make a choice in this regard. You haven't really made a choice here of what you're gonna do.
Milo's gonna try and talk to Oren.
Wait, did you do that in your head?
Huh?
Did you do that in your head? Or like out loud?
Milo sees Oren physically.
Oh, okay.
And see if he can like and he's gonna ask if he can bring Duchess or like tell Duchess to find him. There's several problems with this, I see, but
Why are you adding a middleman to this?
But Milo doesn't know, because Milo doesn't know how this works.
Yeah, you said you were trying to contact Oren first. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because like Milo's not. I don't think Milo's going to. I don't. It's a stretch.
I mean, Oren doesn't have any connection to.
I know to anything but me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know that. Jamie knows that.
Okay.
Milo's dumb.
Okay.
Milo's dumber than Jamie. I'm trying to think of why Milo would think Duchess would hear him down here. Or
I get what you're saying.
He would know. Yeah.
He's like, the only person I've talked to in my head is Oren or Orem. Yeah. And so maybe if I talk to him and ask him to get Duchess, then Duchess
no, that's exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I guess Milo's going to think like why Oren has never talked to his parents or whatever, and think, God, I wish Duchess could be down here and carry me out of here.
Okay.
She carry my Lars armor.
All right. Roll me a d20 and add your wisdom modifier, but I'd also like you to add +2.
Ooh. 23.
Cool. As you think about this, where's the amulet?
It's going to be in my hand. He's going to be kind of like, I don't have a better word than fondling it.
Cool. Yep. Awesome. So you fondle the amulet. You see it start to kind of glow. This like greenish sort of glow behind it. And you feel like it's helping you in this moment be able to try to contact something that is contacting Duchess.
Okay.
With a 22. It's
23.
22, right? 23.
23.
Okay, cool. I'm
Come
gonna
on,
say
Joe.
I think. Sorry. I think with an 18 it succeeds. With a 23, I'm gonna say that you contacted something.
Okay.
It's gonna take some time.
Okay. Yeah, as he's like nervously rubbing this amulet, that I'm assuming for like a split second, for like a second, glowed green. He's gonna say, I think we're gonna be okay. Keep your armor on.
What's in your hand?
I don't know. The Marid was wearing.
Has this group learned nothing about just
Oh, yeah, that would be
picking things
great.
up?
Right, yeah. Way to just use something that was formerly used by something that was possessed.
Can I go to grab it from him?
I mean,
Milo's
I
gonna say,
assume this is contested.
No, Milo's not gonna let you grab it, but he's gonna ask, can you read this?
Can I read it?
It says, upon my death, find a deem.
All I can think of is when they got Adele's name right.
John Travolta. Yeah.
Adele Dazeem.
Do I know? Does the name Adim mean anything to me?
I was just gonna ask, is it like a name or is it a thing?
Yeah.
Roll me a history check.
Oh God. Can I guide myself?
Yes, I'll allow.
Can anybody else roll for her?
Wow.
It's
Okay.
really shitting on your dice.
I've got this, guys.
Gonna make him sticky.
20. Dirty 20.
Hey.
Heard me.
You do remember the name Adim. It may or may not have been mentioned in the session.
Sounds familiar.
But if not, there was a mention of a certain barmaid who was tasked with watching a boy that was slightly different.
Yeah. The barmaid who Guar was talking with, and it was a water genasi.
Correct.
So, okay. Yeah, I don't think I ever heard the name.
We'll say now you did.
Yeah.
Get a name tag that you monked into remembering.
No. Didn't see him.
Yeah, I'm saying like I don't remember hearing, like Lorian doesn't remember hearing the name for El.
All she said is that she was tasked with raising this child, and now this child's not there anymore.
And if there was a child that was being raised in Honoria that was a water genasi, I feel like especially the NRS would know this kid's name at least, right? Like
I don't think so.
No, okay.
I think this was something that I think people knew of him, but it wasn't a concern of the crown. I think it was something that most likely, if I'm honest, this might be a little bit of breaking things here, but I kind of feel like this was probably something that they kept from the crown.
Norris might have known then because he went there a lot.
Yeah, actually, that.
So yeah, Eldrin says it out loud, and she's like, "Adim, I don't like." So even with that 20, maybe she doesn't know what that name is at first.
Sure.
And Norris.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Norris just goes, the genasi.
The what?
The genasi?
The woman at the bar. I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now.
Oh God, yeah, it's far away in my notes.
He says it perfectly, and
yeah, he's perfect.
Oh wait, Glorian.
Yes, it was. Glorian. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. She took care of a water genasi long ago. That was named Adim. I mean, it's too perfect, right?
Well, okay. Regardless, we need to get out of here. So we can figure that out later. I'll put it on the list of things that we need to figure out. So there's something I want to do, but is it my turn yet?
Yeah.
Or it's Saren's turn? Okay.
So. I will say that because Saren's going to have a long turn here in a minute.
Okay. Eldrin is going to use the last sending on her bracelet and send a message to her father and say, because it didn't work before, but that's because it was being blocked by whatever was happening in that room with Erlin. I'm hoping that it works in here. So she's going to send a message saying, oh God, what is it? You need to set up an emergency council meeting. Some horrible things are happening. I'll fill you in as soon as we get back to the castle. Please send some guard to escort us back at the temple.
You immediately hear, yes, are you safe?
Respond to that, so I say nothing.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm going to try to make a reminder myself that your father is going to be very mad that you keep forgetting to say, I'm okay, but do this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, logically, if she's telling you to do something, obviously she's friggin' okay. Use your brain.
That's such an Eldred thing to say.
And you can be like, diamonds, please.
Yeah, she's like, if I'm talking to you, obviously I'm not dead, so why would I waste some of my 25 words?
Yes, you're perfect and you do no wrong. Here's some diamonds.
Mm-hmm. She does need to ask for diamonds when she gets
back. Cool. All right. Saren. I know I'm sending you stuff right now, but this is going to be more important later anyways, so I'm just doing this now before I forget.
While you move on to Saren, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Go for it.
Same.
All right. Saren, you walk through this door and you immediately come into this. You come into this area that you can hear like a faint sort of whistle of a familiar almost sound, as if you were traveling through some sort of wooded clearing area. But you can't seem to see any color. It is legitimately like all of the color has just been turned down, and you see that there's a town that looks to be a little bit further ahead, and you see kind of just like faint images of people kind of going by, but they're probably about maybe like 200 feet from you. You see there is like the woods, I would say immediately to your right and to your left. You're kind of like in this like sort of dead end sort of area. What do you do?
He's just gonna keep walking towards the town.
Okay.
As she goes, she'd be like glancing into the woods, just kind of like rapidly looking back and forth, trying to figure out what's going on.
Give me a perception check.
26.
You, in a very like in the like rogue senses of things that you that you still seem to have been able to carry with you. You feel like something is watching you, and your eyes dart towards the direction of where you see something. You don't see anything. I think with a 26, you get the feeling that something is there. You just can't see it. Do you continue forward?
She's gonna start looking for that thing that she feels like is watching her. Like she's gonna go towards. Did you say she felt it from like a specific side? Or?
You felt it from your left side. I would say you even
Okay.
like kind of feel like you may be looking directly at it, but you don't see anything. Because 26 is super high.
Yeah, she'll keep walking.
Okay. With that check, as you continue to walk towards the town, like I said, you're a ways away, so you see the figures kind of just like walking in and out. You hear like the faint sort of sound of laughter, as it sounds like a small village that you're coming up to, and your eyes just automatically dart to the right as you feel like someone's now staring at you from the opposite direction. And then the same thing, you turn around and you feel like there is, in a very haunting, sort of scary sort of way, you kind of feel like there is an audience of people behind you watching you. And you felt it kind of like almost seems to like stick inside your like your awareness, for the lack of a better word, like your roguish sort of like want to be in the background at all times. You are on center stage and it is digging into you like knives. But I think you continue forward because that's all you can do.
She definitely picks up her pace quite a bit.
Cool. Love it. You walk up, you see a figure that looks almost looks somewhat human. You see this woman who has has a hood over her head and kind of a shawl wrapped around her. She seems to be carrying this baby, and had just like kind of waved off a friend who walks away, and her back is kind of facing you. What do you do?
I gotta stop trying to write while I'm listening. Kind of like goes over to the side and watches her for a little bit.
Okay, cool. You probably kind of come up against like one of the like wooden sort of cabins, and you kind of watch her from the side. You see the hand that is like kind of holding up to this baby, assumingly like just like letting the baby like suck on the finger or something. There's something where it's like the hand is kind of up towards the baby that's kind of swaddled in this, and you see the hand itself seems to be trying to think of a way to say this. Seems manly in a way that like it's just a little too hairy, if that makes sense. So like you see kind of like these raw sort of like knuckles, and you see that the hair on the back end of the hand seems to kind of go up a little bit much further than typically you see on any sort of female being. A reminder, Saren, this is your world, so it's just me and you here right now.
Can she just keep walking and see if there's any other people?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So you keep on walking past. Just for the record, like the woman's still kind of looking away from you, so it doesn't seem to be noticing you. As you walk past, you see a couple kind of move outside of these cabins, and I'd like you to roll me a separate perception check on the cabins.
27.
As you walk past, you actually notice that the cabins themselves, you actually like kind of like try to push yourself off to go to the cabin, and you feel the visage of the cabin itself actually just goes away, and instead you actually kind of push off on this cloth hut, as you realize that like pieces of this, whatever this is, are changing as I'm watching this. So instead of like, I think at first you see a door opening and then there's like a glitch and you see instead a flap opening from a hut that's just ahead of you, and you see a couple walk out. They seem relatively happy, and actually I would say this couple's probably like, looks to be like kind of like haughtily like arguing with each other, I would say. You kind of, you're able to like pick up like sort of like small bits of phrases here and there, but they're just like in the way that like a dream is, where you know someone's talking but you're not quite really sure what they're saying. It just kind of goes in and out, almost in like a Charlie Brown sort of way, where like the adults are talking, and you notice that something about these two beings, again, they look fairly human, a little bit shorter than most humans, but they also look feral in some ways. There's something about them that seems not quite human. And you see them kind of bickering back and forth as they're heading towards the center of town. You also see actually, I'm going to pause you there. Wilbur. Your eyes snap open, and you are in this very small, it almost seems familiar in some way. It's very small, very, very enclosed kind of little hut. You can see the cloth of the roof kind of moving in the wind. And you see there's like little sticks that are kind of holding up like as being like skeletal sort of structures that's keeping the hut in place. You can see that there's a fire right in the middle of it. But you notice, the first thing you notice is with the fire has no color to it. You actually even can feel like as you put your hand to it, there's no heat. But you see there is a cauldron that's sitting like on top of it. You can even see smoke sort of like billowing up from the fire itself. But it's just in all this like kind of like gray, like dark gray. You see light for a second as you see two sort of figures start to kind of walk out of the hut.
Can I follow them?
Cool. You follow them out. Saren, as you're staring forward, you see Wilbur just peek out of the tent.
Because Wilbur
wouldn't do that.
me.
I think Wilbur, if you're following them, they're heading off in one way, so your head is like noticing, like is watching them first.
The second that Saren sees Wilbur, she screams, "Wilbur! Where are we?" And just like starts running towards him.
Cool.
Can I
Wilbur,
hear her?
you Wilbur, roll me a perception check.
14.
Okay. You hear something loud, but it's as if it was like fully underwater. You just hear this woo, and then you, still having your sense of perception, most likely in like a nature sort of way, you feel like something's running towards you.
I think I'm still going to keep following the two figures, but keeping my paw on my short sword.
Okay. I'm curious as to why you think Wilbur would do that. You have something that seems to be rushing towards you. You're not going to turn and look?
I'm afraid to lose track of the figures.
I'll be honest here. I kind of feel like your danger instinct would kick in. You feel something rushing towards you.
Okay. So I'll stop and I'll just pull out my short sword and hold it out in like a defensive stance.
Cool. You pull out where you think your short sword is. It is not there as you flip around and you have nothing but your claws as you see Saren. Saren looks like Saren, but different. I think you see... Saren, go ahead and just describe to me what Saren would look like right now. Like, in regards to, like, over the span of time that we've had. Just give me kind of like a general sort of description.
Like after the fight kind of thing?
Yeah, sure.
Like, I feel like she's just very disheveled. Like her hair's all messed up. There's like, you know, like some like scratch marks and like blood on her face. She looks very like not put together.
I mean, in general, I'm saying like hair color, size, weight, like what's literally on you, clothes, things like that.
Let me just send a picture.
No, don't send a picture. Tell me what you look like. You can do it.
Is this like based on what you sent me, or are we just talking like what Saren looks like?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
No, not based on what I sent you. Sorry, no.
I don't have to like read all of that right now. Cool.
No, you do not.
She has bluish teal, almost like a tinge of teal hair. Just like brightish green eyes. Her armor it's golden navy blue. She wears a little crest of her like Valinor war clan around her neck. And she has her veil, Valsheen, I believe is what it's called, of her patron ancestor. And I feel like at this point it's just kind of like hanging around her neck.
How long have you had that veil?
It would be like 25 years, I think.
Okay. Wilbur, you don't recognize Saren at first. You see the same hair color, you see the same eye color, same general height. The clothes, I would say, probably are a little different. I think they're not in like a warrior sort of like uniform sort of thing. They actually look fairly common. Looking at Saren, I think it takes a second for you to recognize that it's Saren because this Saren looks to be at least 100 years younger. Saren, how old are you?
125, I think.
Perfect.
124. 125.
Cool.
Close enough.
This looks like a teenage Saren.
I will slash your face. Oh. Saren?
Saren, you hear this. Come back to you. You guys quickly realize you cannot understand each other speaking.
What's going on? And she reaches out to grab onto Wilbur's shoulder to see if he's actually there.
Mm-hmm. You feel the sense of this bristly type fur. You feel that you can actually physically touch Wilbur.
She just kind of looks at her hands and she looks around for a little bit and then also kind of looks over Wilbur's shoulder and tries to get her eyes on that couple that was walking to see if she can still see them.
I think you see them for a second, and they seem to just disappear into where your eyesight would end on being able to be being able to give someone a description of someone. That's where you see them disappear. So probably maybe 200 feet away from you.
She's gonna look at Wilbur and just point, and then start kind of walking that direction.
Cool. Wilbur, do you follow?
Huh?
Okay.
Yep.
So, as you guys start to kind of walk off together, I'm gonna pause you all there, but I'm gonna make a last point in saying that. Assuming that you guys start to try to move a little quicker than what you saw the couple, a quicker pace than what you saw the couple going, you actually see the couple come back into view. As you guys start to try to catch up to them in some way, just at least to be able to kind of watch them. But we're gonna pause you there. All right, coming back to everybody else. I mean, we can try to keep it in the same initiative order, but whatever you guys want to do is totally fine.
So it's me and the guys now, right? Well, actually, Wilbur's a guy, but you know what I meant.
Just guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes. I mean, Milo said that he thinks help is coming with Duchess.
Mm-hmm.
I told my father that he needs to get the council together. So I would say right now Eldrin's in damage control mode, and she's probably saying to Milo and Guar and Noros, and she's like, you take that body, you take that one, I'll take this one, because she's like, we gotta get out of here. So She's trying to get everyone to gather up whatever body they can, because we've got Catherine, Erlin, Saren, and Wilbur now. So
yeah,
I'll take Wilbur.
Catherine, Erlin, Saren, and Wilbur are being carried by Eldrin, Milo, Guar,
Noros.
Okay, cool.
There's 4 and 4.
Milo's. I don't want to leave this Murid down here.
At that, Eldrin says, "Forget about him. What do you mean leave? They're vile creatures anyway."
He had a dying wish.
Then we'll bring the. How do you expect to carry him, Milo?
I don't know. I can.
We can come back for him. We have to come back for Guar's armor anyway. Wait, did we get our armor off, or did you tell us not to? I don't remember.
He told us not to take it off yet.
I didn't say don't take it off yet.
No,
no,
Milo
did.
Milo did.
Oh, gotcha.
Because he said he was like, Duchess is coming in his head.
Gotcha.
I think Eldrin already had hers off though by the time that happened. So,
Fair.
Eldrin's like, we have to come back anyway. I can't. My mother will kill me. I'm leaving her armor behind. So
I can carry two. You're all very small.
Okay. Then yeah, here I give you Wilbur on top of whatever you're also carrying. I don't know why I think I can carry the Maurice. I can already see if I can. Actually, I have a +2 to my strength, Joe. All right. And you took all my gear away from me, so I'm not carrying anything. Literally, you've stripped everything from me.
Yeah,
and everyone.
All because I wanted to get married and not wear my backpack. That's my fault.
That's what you get.
Somebody didn't want a purse on her wedding day.
So I mean,
That's why you get a dress with pockets.
Can I Can I you know what? Blame the tailor who made my dress. He didn't put any pockets in it. So
this is why the patriarchy is such a problem.
Wait, Milo put pockets in your damn dress. You didn't use.
Oh, you know what? That's the pocket that she put Venris's ring in. The only thing she brought there.
Milo put pockets in your dress.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You should have told me. So I'm gonna try. Can I pick up this Marid? Like, how big is this thing? It's huge, right? There's no way.
It's large. So you try to pick it up, and it's not that it's like, I think you could pick up from like the head and the torso, but it's it's legitimately like it's just awkward. Because this creature, again, like not a lot of bones. Excuse me. It's essentially like kind of like trying to pick up like a large toad that's 3 times the size of you.
Okay. Well, luckily we're underwater too.
Yeah. So it's awkward.
It's awkward.
I mean, let's just wait for Duchess.
We don't. How long is she gonna be, Milo? We have to figure this out. Not only is Saren now, I can't feel her heartbeat. Wilbur. We can't just sit here and do nothing. I have no way to contact anyone. I told them we were at the temple. I didn't tell them where.
As Eldrin is spiraling, Milo is gonna like rub the amulet and say, "Hey, bud," and like explain where he is in relation to, like the temple, kind of, because he like kept track of like
outside of the temple, like right at the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's gonna explain where he is in relation to the temple and like how far down it seems like at least the ceiling looks.
I mean, you guys have,
because he doesn't see the ceiling.
Right. There's I would say there's no ceiling. Also, you guys don't know exactly how far down you went. You don't know exactly which direction you went.
Right.
To be clear, I think Milo knows for sure Duchess is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, Eldrin, I mean, Eldrin's going to use she's going to just keep doing a thaumaturgy. So it emits a very loud sound from where we are to try and help Duchess hone in on where we are. It says that I can create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range. It says, for examples, it says like rumble of thunder, cry of a raven, or ominous whispers. Could it be Milo's voice? I'm like,
oh, sure.
okay, so as far up as I can see, that's where I'm going to point it. Like I have a range of 30 feet, so it's 30 feet above us, and it's going to just be a sound of Milo, basically. What we've heard him say, like, Duchess, come here.
Okay. Because of all the times you heard Milo say that.
You heard him say it like once or twice, you know? Yeah. No, I throw in a who's a good abomination because I definitely heard him say that once. In the 2 days he's known Duchess.
Because, same.
Right.
Cool. And then, Milo's
but it's
gonna
slightly off. Also, your voice is slightly more higher pitched than it actually is. So you're like, is that how she hears me?
Is that how it's like hearing your voice on a recording? Is that how I sound?
But no, it's definitely wrong though. Eldrin's it's a little whinier. That's maybe how Eldrin hears all of you.
Milo's gonna sit down. Leave the Merid. I'm just gonna wait for Duchess.
Cool. All right. Guar, are you doing anything?
Yeah, I'm definitely scrambling. Just trying to figure out like what to do. Should he take his armor off? He's currently holding Wilbur and like trying to figure out like who else to grab, but then also not really knowing what exactly to do because he believes the crab's coming, believes Duchess is coming, but also wants everybody to be okay. But is also knows how possession works, but also knows that they're probably like on some other plane, but he also isn't quite sure. So he's just got a lot of thoughts and feelings.
Eldrin says,
got it.
So I have 2 bracelets. Both of you take one and contact 3 people or do whatever it is you can do. I can't do any more of it, but you guys can. Cerilius might know where they are. Here, and I give my Noros bracelet to Guar and my Anrin bracelet to Milo.
On the same
you
plane.
said Anrin's bracelet?
Yeah, I still have Anrin's bracelet that you gave to me that she said to only use to contact her, and I've not done yet.
Not even once.
So many other people.
They only work on this plane, correct?
No, as long as wait, hold on, let me double check. I'm thinking of something else, I think.
Would Anrin's bracelet say to call Anrin only?
Well, I mean, she gave it to me in a. No, I don't think so, because she gave it to me because is that what Milo would do? Would only call
he the first message would have been to Anrin to say, "Hey, we're okay. Eldrin's fine. She says she loves you. Bye."
I mean, your first one could always just be to your mom.
There's a 5% chance the message doesn't arrive.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was trying to find.
I will say, this is totally meta, so if you guys just want to try this anyways, in this plane, they're having trouble hearing each other.
Yeah, well, I don't even want to contact them. I'm thinking like contact Cerilius because he might be able to help because he's like a.
Yep, but Guar was the one that was asking, so that's why.
I don't. Because I think Guar's first thing would be to contact Brimhilda.
Oh.
Okay.
And then I look at Norris and I say, "You have a bracelet too. Pull some weight. Do something."
He's been holding Saren this entire time. When's he supposed to use his hands?
I don't know.
So Guar would.
Let's run this so that we can.
Okay.
So we'll say 1 time through. Who do you guys want to contact? Go.
Brimhilda.
Okay. Ready? Go. What do you say?
Hey. Hope you're doing well. We miss you. Just
realistically
so
speaking, there's 5 dead bodies around you. Are you sure that's how that message goes?
Absolutely not. But I'd just be like, it would be.
Remember, you only have 25 words.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna retcon. Please help. Multiple dead bodies, 2 possibly on other planes. Trying to escape. Please advise. Love you.
Okay. You have, I think, 8 after that.
Very, 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 very much.
I mean, you don't have to use it all.
Do you actually say "love you"? Is that in character?
No, I'd probably say, please advise, thank you and thank you and miss your how would he say this?
Miss your hospitality.
Your
miss your like she's super powerful, so I'd just be miss having you as an ally in combat or whatever, something to that effect.
Does no one get that reference? Okay,
I didn't hear you.
I didn't either.
That's all right. I'm not going to repeat it because it's gross. Watch role models.
I miss your musk.
Miss your scent. Okay. Let's see.
Being near you.
Okay.
When this is all over, we should get an apartment together.
You don't hear a response right away. I rolled a nat 1, so.
You're sleeping,
Yeah,
pooping.
that tracks.
Poop.
Eldrin.
It's like, oh,
I thought of something.
Okay.
I pull out my shell phone.
Heyo.
You used to call him on a shell phone.
I'm so confused on what is an inside joke and what you're actually doing now at this
My
point.
shell
It's
phone.
just-
Yeah, she's got a shell phone.
Oh, for
Karen
Karen.
Erickson.
okay.
Yeah.
We never called it a shell phone. I don't think.
Yeah, we did. Go back and watch.
We absolutely did.
All right.
I even said it in the recap. Joe, this also proves that you don't listen to us.
We broke God.
You guys are aware I run like 5 campaigns a week, right?
But we're your most important one.
That's true. Go
So
ahead.
everyone look in the camera.
Favorite one. We're your favorite.
Yeah.
Let the record
Um,
show.
I open up my shell phone and I don't know what time it is because we still had like after dinner, we still had like an hour and a half before. So it'd be amazing if this was the exact time I was supposed to call it.
I'll roll for it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Is it? I wouldn't know, I guess.
You wouldn't know.
I open it up and I say, and I wait for hopefully him to pop up.
The Zoom call was started.
He pops up and goes, hi.
Oh, thank God!
Man,
Thank God!
Hold on. I totally forget what Karen Erickson sounds like.
I don't.
Does anyone remember?
Kind of a nasally Irish.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
cool.
like, yeah,
Nasally Irish.
yeah.
All right. Hi. I think it was just
No.
nasally.
I think it was just nasally.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great. Algid, you're here. So it's a little
Okay,
early, but I
thank
figured we
God.
could
Yeah,
get
nope.
started now if you wanted to.
No,
So I had a
that's
couple
not-
things that I wanted to
Hey,
go through right now.
Aaron.
So there's a piece of it. Yeah.
Do you have any way to contact anyone outside of me or Broomhilda, or any way to help me whatsoever where I am right now?
Listen, I know you're worried about the court case. I understand.
I don't
But here's the
care
thing, that's
at
like-
all about that.
listen,
I have
if you could
5
just
dead
trust
bodies
me,
in
if
front
you
of
could
me
just
right
trust
now.
me. I
5 dead
understand.
bodies.
You know, listen, nobody's gonna
I like
die.
pull
Okay,
like
it's gonna be
Wilbur's
fine.
dead body in front of
Possibly
himself.
3. 2 could
Right.
just be on a different plane of existence.
As
Like
as soon
yelling
as
in
you do that,
perpetuity.
he picks up a book and is like, listen, so I've been reading this back to front, and I know that you clearly have, as you like pick up Wilbur's bodies, back to front, and I know like,
Who
there's
needs a
no
book
way
back
you're
to
gonna
front?
have Yes, back to front.
Karen Erickson, if you want to help me at all and be my legal counsel, you will help me in this moment right now.
Fucking Tritons, man.
We
Okay,
are
all right.
trapped.
Puts the book down. I'm listening. What? Oh,
We are trapped right now in
What's-
in the Temple of Persona. I can't get any more word out. I need help. We need to figure out what the hell is going on. Do you know
Are
any
you, like-
primordials? Do you have any help that you can? I'm so bloodied right now too,
is
Joe.
that a rug? Like that? You're holding up Wilbur. I was like,
Yeah. No, this is Wilbur.
like a bear rug? Okay, all right. You. Okay.
Are-
Listen, I am very sober right now, so I am listening and I'm here. What do you need?
Can you contact anyone besides me with this? Can you reach out to anyone to send aid or get help, or do you have any powers? Are you strong like Broomhilda?
What about the king? He doesn't know who that is.
Or he knows that Broomhilda gave him this.
I forgot.
Okay. Just 1 second. You are, from my understanding, you are thousands of miles under the sea.
Did you say anything about me?
I would say that anyone
Thousands?
who would have someone, hundreds, anyone who would be able to have anyone who contact to help about, I mean this in all due respect, but would be the Princess of Edoria. If there's someone that you need me to contact on the surface to help you out, let's say on like an important court case that's coming up, which it does seem like you're, if all due respect, it does seem like you're a little distracted from stuff. So I'm going to imagine that maybe we need to postpone this to a later time, maybe in the morning. But I do not have answers for you regarding the current situation you're in. You look very dirty and you're covered in red stuff. And
I like
the
you
red stuff's blood.
drunk.
Blood, you fucking dunce.
okay, hold on, time out. There's only one person who's talking to Karen right now. Go ahead.
All right, I'm assuming it's a phone week's on speaker.
I said, I liked you better drunk, and I hang up on him.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Got it.
That's definitely not his voice, and it's gonna bother me. And I don't know what his voice was.
It's that now. It's that today.
It sounds like a grown-up version of my little brother that you play.
What does Noros? Who does Noros call? Because I'm not doing that.
I think because Noros is a little bit smarter than Eldrin when it comes to people, not by much. Noros is going to who would he call?
Well, I'll say while you're thinking about that,
Yeah.
let's go back to Saren and Wilbur.
Or Milo didn't get his.
Did Milo get a thing to call?
Yeah. He has a bracelet.
Gotcha. Milo, who you calling?
I'm calling, which is very on brand for Milo. I don't remember his name, but the high magician.
Zaris.
Zaris.
Zaris, yeah.
The archmage, not the high magician.
Cool. All right, got it. All right, I do know that one. Okay.
Milo's going to say, Zaris, we're under the temple, several dead bodies. Can you please help?
That was 15 words.
Okay. And then he's going to count that out and add, P.S. think we found... What?
I was going to say, Eldrin says, as you're pausing, Eldrin's like, mention the Marid. He'll get super interested and want to come to help us.
Oh. P.S. have body of Marid formerly possessed. Also need food.
Well, just so you know, you had 5 words left. Don't really know where you are. Please bring the Marid. Guar still alive? Question mark?
And that's 25.
Guar's still alive. seriously really far under the temple.
Through Erlin's office.
Through Erlin's office. Thanks for the help. Look forward to seeing you. Still need food.
Love Milo.
No, that was my 25.
Fascinating.
We'll stop.
We'll stop. No.
Fascinating. I could easily teleport there, except if I was off by any stretch of that word, I may be trapped in a cocoon of death forever and ever.
I feel like Milo's telling us these. I say, Milo, remind him that he's the Archmage of Honoria, and he definitely has ways to locate people. I have ways to locate people. I am far less powerful than him. He's being difficult on purpose, and I do not appreciate it, and order him as the friend of the future Queen of Honoria to get down here and help us right now.
Okay.
We're going to pause you there. Awesome.
But
I do remember, Noros reaches out to Eldrin's dad because Eldrin complained, like, why does he always ask how I'm doing it? Should blah, blah, blah. And he just says, she's fine.
Got it.
All this is happening since Guar has no idea what to do. He's just going to kneel down holding Wilbur and just pray to Bahamut.
Okay.
And Miss Celeste. So.
Okay.
He weeps.
Cool. You got it. As you pray, as you kneel down, where are you?
And I'm so sorry. I think I would be in the fray, probably maybe a step or two away from where Saren is, because I think wherever Wilbur dropped, I would be there, but not too far off. I wouldn't be off by myself or anything.
Okay. How far are you from the wall? I think we'll say is a better way to look at it.
We're all kind of in the center of the room, right?
I would say from where it would be, it wouldn't be the center of the room. I'd say it's kind of almost up against the wall where that Merid passed.
I'd say maybe 10 feet, 5-10 feet away.
Okay, cool. Got it. All right, very good. Awesome. I'm going to say it is very unceremonious, which is very odd of me. But we're going to say in this moment, let's go ahead and take our 10-minute break. So it is 10:22 right now. We will come back at 10:32. Bye-bye. Hey.
Heyo. Hey. Hey.
Mike,
Hey.
if you can make sure that when the break happens that you just back out, because it's
Yeah,
all
my
good.
bad.
The live stream,
The
like,
sign didn't. Yeah,
yeah, it looks awkward on that, but yeah,
you got it. No problem at all.
Not a big deal. Okay, cool. So jumping back in. All right. So Saren and Wilbur. As you guys follow this couple, you see a couple of figures kind of like seem to kind of like come into view as you get closer. There is seeming to be like a gathering in the town square. And I think you notice that by like the amount of people that seems to kind of show up on either side of you. Is there anything you guys choose to do here? I can just keep on going if you want.
I just have a really dumb question.
No, go for it.
Do all these people, like, can these people see us?
You haven't figured that out?
Oh. Dumb question.
No, it's not a dumb question. You haven't like interacted with any of them, with anyone.
Okay. What
I'd
is
say
the,
at
like,
this
do these...
point, just to kind of give you kind of somewhere to be able to kind of push off from, I would say you start to see that there is a small crowd. You see of almost like a wall of like robes and common clothes, and like you see that there are smaller versions of these same sort of people that are like clutching the legs of some of them, seemingly most likely children.
I don't have anything in particular that I want to do.
I was gonna try to cast Psychic Whispers, but I already used it once. So I can't even attempt.
Okay. You see the crowd kind of gather to a center. At this point, there probably needs to be some interaction because all you see is a wall of people that are kind of like almost seemingly blocking you out.
I'll kindly just say, excuse me, as I just kind of attempt to weave through people to get to the center.
Okay. Roll me a acrobatics check.
Sorry, I have to check my acrobatics though. 21.
21? Yeah. With ease, you see a little gap in between these people and go, I can definitely fit through that. And you just kind of push yourself through. You don't even necessarily touch any of them as you just kind of move to the center. You see, as you come to the center, you see this. You see everybody is kind of looking off to the left of you. And following your eyes, you see that there is like, at first you see the nose and then the mouth and then the head as the whole thing kind of comes into view. As you see this large war horse gallop straight into the middle of this sort of town center. Atop it is another sort of beastly looking figure. You see rounded ears. It looks to be a big, like, long and wild mane. Kind of slightly elongated snout. And looks to be dressed in full, heavy armor, like metal. You can see, like, markings along the side, and you actually see there's this huge shield that's like actually strapped to the horse.
Does it look like a horse riding a horse?
Doesn't look like a horse riding a horse. Remember I said mane.
Isn't that what a horse's thing is?
Like a big mane.
Oh, like a lion.
Like a lion.
Am I crazy though? Isn't that what the horse's
No, it
thing
is. But yeah,
Yeah.
but I went mane, I went like this.
Oh,
So that's what
I
was
missed
trying
that.
to-
I'm sorry.
So yeah, you see whether Wilbur knows what that is or not, it's completely up to I would say it's a character choice. I don't think he would. There's not a lot of Leonin in South Imea. But you see a Leonin figure, very military-like, step down off the horse, look around at the crowd. While this is happening, what is Saren doing?
Saren followed Wilbur through the crowd.
Saren, you're significantly bigger than Wilbur, so I'd say I need a much higher acrobatics check.
11.
Okay, cool. As you see Wilbur start to kind of scurry through and just seems to miss, you try to push through, and you know you're going to touch them. So do you say anything?
She would just try to be like, excuse me, and kind of like push her way through the crowd and
Cool.
not make eye contact with any of them.
Okay. As you try to push your way through, there's an awkward sort of step, and I think honestly with an 11, because 11's pretty low, especially for you, you kind of stumble.
Oh, shoot, wait, I just looked at my thing again. Do I still roll that with advantage because of my fancy boots?
Up to you. We're kind of in like an RP standpoint, but
I rolled the exact same. Never mind.
okay, fantastic. You stumble through, and one of the reasons why you stumble into like kind of the center area, and you actually like fall to this Leonin's feet, and you look back and you see there is like almost no hole. You must have fallen through these people. You stand and you see these very large, very kind of very round paw prints of this Leonin as you stare up and you see this like kind of grizzled sort of I don't even want to say beard. It's essentially part of the mane that seems to kind of come through, but you can see that like this part of it right underneath, it looks like it's been like well kept, but looking right underneath it, you can see like bits of matted fur. And you see it kind of it looks extremely menacing from this angle, but I'd say both of you are looking around and you see, or sorry, both of you are looking at this Leonin as he's looking around and almost seeming like he's sizing up the crowd. Saren, you specifically said you're trying to avoid eye contact. Wilbur, are you avoiding eye contact? With anyone? You're muted.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah. I'm not trying to look anyone directly in the eyes.
Okay.
I feel like after Saren like fell through the people,
Yeah.
she would like kind of turn around and actually start looking at them and just kind of going like to see if they can see her.
Okay. I'm sure you know what it's like to be ignored by something in some way. This is much more than that. You are not seen by these people in a way that very much feels like, especially after you stumbled through them, in a way that you feel like you're not really here. You see, like from your vantage point, from the closest point you're at, you actually probably see one of the younger. You see the younger one, like one of the younger, like children, and you see kind of like a very like. I'm trying to think of how to put it. Like the nose itself seems to be slightly like kind of like pushed back. And you can see that there's actually slight bits of like hair around the face, as if like it's weird to see a child with a beard, essentially. Like that's pretty much what you see. You see this kid that has these like sort of like kind of peach fuzz, but seems to kind of go all the way down to like the point of like actually looking like a beard. The reason why you catch this kid's eyes is because this kid looks terrified. And he's clutching his mother's leg. The mother looks also pretty freaked out. What's also kind of tricky about this tricky is not the right word. What's also kind of eerie and weird about the situation is that you hear the sound effects of like the whistling through the trees. You hear like nature, but you don't hear voices. You don't hear any like sort of like murmurings from the crowd. Like a crowd this big, you would hear some sort of like crowd noise, and you don't hear anything. But as you're watching this happen, you see one of the members of this crowd kind of steps forward in front of this Leonin. Has a staff in hand, is holding it with two hands as he's looking at him. And you see that there's a conversation that's going on, and it looks like the townsfolk is talking a lot more than Leonin is. I'm going to give one more chance for anyone to do anything else in this situation.
So they're talking, but we don't hear them.
Correct. You hear these kind of like, actually at the volume that's of what's probably happening right now, you don't hear anything.
Do I see the terrified little child with the beard too? Or is it just Saren?
If you're looking. You said that you were avoiding eye contact, so I'm trying to honor that. It's up to you.
I mean, you definitely feel like you would see Saren kind of turn back and like start looking at everybody. I don't know if that would...
So if I saw Saren like fixated on child with a beard, this is terrible. I feel like a jerk. I would probably look at the child too. And I think I would go try to talk to the kid.
Okay. What do you say?
Hi. I'm Wilbur. I'm kind of new in town. What's going on? And the child eats my face.
You actually see. So a reminder, you see Saren like kind of wave a hand in front of the face of the mother, or like, you know, or even the child, whatever. You surmise that at this point, like, that you don't seem to be here. But you try anyways. And ironically, you see the child look over in your direction. Kind of confused. Doesn't seem to see you, kind of like almost like looks right through you. But definitely heard something. At this point, I would like a perception check from both of you.
15.
both are pretty high. This is going to be very interesting what happens here. I would, what you see. I think, Saren, you're the first to notice it, and it's actually almost like a point where you actually seem to even like look past the wall of townsfolk and seeing like almost, you're not really even sure how this, I'm not even sure how to explain this or how this even works, but I think you, like, for a second, they almost seem like they're translucent to you. As you see behind them, you see that there are the woods that are kind of surrounding this entire village, and you see bushes start to move, like rustle, in almost a perfect line around. And given your military background, you immediately recognize that this is about to be an ambush. Wilbur, I think you, in your sense of like warfare based on this Tabaxi war that you're not even sure ever even really happened, you get a feeling like something is wrong in the air, and you happen to push past like an area. But I think maybe at this point you feel that you can actually even walk through them. They're not even like, you're not even connecting with them at all, and you see the same thing. You actually see a couple pairs of like glowing red eyes am I talking about my butt there? Yes, like glowing like gold eyes actually, that seem to appear almost in the, you see them like first before you even see the bodies of these things, and you know something bad is about to happen for sure. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna tell the little boy to run.
Okay. I need you to roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, my persuasion is not good. Oh no. 6.
Okay. Saren, you hear Wilbur doing this. You can probably give the help action if you'd like by also trying to tell the boy to run. Whatever you want to do. What do you think you're doing in this instance?
Yeah, she gets up and goes next to Wilbur, and I mean, can she tell that's what Wilbur's saying?
You see Wilbur. Well, what's Wilbur doing to convince this boy to run?
Even though Wilbur probably understands that the little boy can't necessarily see him, Wilbur is like, run, like motioning and waving his arms
Saren,
frantically, like run.
Yeah, she's gonna help and just say, go, get out of here. Something's coming.
Okay, cool. Wilbur, re-roll that for me, please.
The persuasion.
Yep.
12.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for it. Okay. Very cool. You see, so you see the boy start to kind of like look around, like looks around, like trying to figure out where the hell he's hearing that voice from. And at that moment, you see like the man that's on the staff like kind of drop to his knees and seems to be squeezing his staff tightly and just begging. And you see you see the Leonin grab an axe from off the horse, go and decapitate the man. You hear this large growl from all around you at the same time, and you immediately see arrows start to fly, arc overhead. We're gonna pause you guys there. Very cool.
Cool for who? It's not cool for these poor town folk.
Yeah, I'll explain that later. Cool. All right, coming back to you guys. Let's say Milo, roll me a perception check.
That's a 10.
Okay, cool. I think you hear a faint rumble. That's about it.
Does my passive perception tell me anything?
Excuse me.
I would say with this, the reason I'd say you probably also hear a faint rumble.
Okay.
Must have been those scallops.
As fresh as they originally said.
I mean,
Milo's
not
gonna,
to be. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna go. Milo's gonna go like Boy Scout leader. Put his ear to the ground, and like shh.
Okay.
I think she's coming.
Cool. Roll me a wisdom save.
Oh, great. $15.
15. You see all of a sudden your mind flashes forward, and as if you're being as if your whole body seems to be whisked away, and you open your eyes and you are in a brightly lit, adorned room on the surface. You look around and you see that off in the distance you see there's an open window and you can see clouds that are forming. And it's a bright, beautiful day. You see an elven woman walk through the door and ask if you need anything. And you can even feel in this moment that you feel confused and a little scared, but also this is really cool. And you immediately know what this is. At this moment, you recognize that this entire area from the ground up into the wall is actually the Rifu in Memoriam. You're inside it. So what do you do?
Well, I'm gonna message Zaris.
Grab a Guar's bracelet since you used yours.
I still have one more message.
Oh, you do? Okay. Oh yeah, I was yelling at you to message him and you didn't. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm gonna message Zaris and say, one, Eldrin's pulling rank and decides you don't get a choice. And two, we're at the bottom of the Rifu in Memoriam. It's really far down here.
You're not at the bottom.
Oh, no?
Remember, you've been to the bottom. You've seen where the Rifu in Memoriam starts.
Oh.
You're inside it.
Oh, we're inside it. Oh, well, that's less helpful for directions.
It gives them a general place to go to. Although the temple did too, but I think it gives them a more area to pinpoint.
Yeah, so Milo's going to say, yeah, we're instead of we're at the bottom, we are inside of the Rifu in Memoriam. Not sure how to get out.
Cool. Yeah, I think like you recognize in this moment that you were actually like fully inside this cylindrical, in a double way, like this double sort of cylindrical sort of area of this wall that is so large and its expanse of it that you're 100% sure that the outside of it must be, I don't know, at least a half mile thick for it to just be this like kind of one area that you're in. So you're in some ways I would say that you're at the true bottom of the Rifu Memoriam as you are inside it, and it is actually hollow going straight up.
Okay. Kind of like a giant reef silo.
Right. You also notice that, like, okay, well, then that makes sense as far as like having sunlight all of a sudden kind of peer through down here, because the reef in memoriam goes all the way up to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Which you may not have known that, because I don't think I might have said that. But
no.
that's kind of the
Elder might have told him that. I don't know.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So it goes all the way up. So you saw literally the sun peering through. Cool. So Zaris responds,
My dear boy, I have lived more lifetimes than that brat can count. That being said...
And Eldrin doesn't hear this.
No, just you.
I hear what you said to him, but I don't hear what he says back.
Mm-hmm.
That's an amazing feat. And I will be there shortly. Don't touch anything. But also, touch everything.
And then just cuts off.
Milo's gonna say, Zaris says you're right, he's on his way.
Well, good. It's about time that he listened to someone in the royal family, you know. Also, what were you gonna say?
Do you, like, Milo, do you let her know where you are?
I heard him.
I said it out loud.
He has to speak it out loud.
Oh, gotcha,
In the
gotcha.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to say. And I'm sorry, where are we and how do you know that?
Oh yeah, we're I didn't tell you. I told you.
You've told me about it. I just, how is it that you know where we are?
Yeah, so I had I guess I traded memories again. Of
course you did.
When I just a moment ago, and I've been here before. Not here, obviously. It was like that way a while. It was that way for a long time, but on the other side of the wall. But I've been, and then it kind of just showed me where we are.
So the Merid, Tall, the Ixochitl, everything that's going on that is bad is happening in one of the most sacred places in Anoria, correct?
I mean, that makes sense, right?
I suppose so.
Do you guys guard this well?
No,
At all?
mean, well, we determined, Joe, that it's guarded pretty much by like primordial crabs and stuff, right? Because it's like
It is guarded by primordial crabs, and no one's ever been inside, as far as you know.
Yeah, and so
I will say
say
also that Zaris did say, "I'll be right there," though. So
no.
Yeah.
Possibly some
So
people.
Eldrin says there's no need to protect this area that's guarded by primordial crabs. It's their playground, basically, and no, I didn't even know there was an inside to this place. I told you despite how easy things come to you down here, I haven't even earned the right to be here, Milo.
I'm sorry. I mean, Zaris seemed pretty familiar outside of Milo. I secretly just want this to be Zaris's like version of a smoke spot. Just his secret place.
So we find an ashtray or something. It's just the coral, like.
I honestly, I don't know. Things just happen to me, and I like. Have you tried being available? Like, have you tried just like putting yourself out there?
Are still praying, you know.
There's a reason it's called the way of the open hand. You're available to grab the things the world hands you. Thanks.
I'm speechless, Milo.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear,
As am I.
as it's
God
Oh, thank Persona.
damn it, Zaris.
How was that? Was that an entrance? Was that good? I can come back.
No, that was scared the crap out of me.
I
You scared the
point
crap
out,
out of him, but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I point out to him. I point the explosives out to him, and I say, "This place is armed. It's armed all over Enoria. Milo has the map,
He
and
doesn't seem. Who are you pointing to? Who are you
I'm
presenting?
pointing it to
Marit?
Zaris.
No.
Oh, what?
Milo, you said someone's dead. Who are you pointing to?
Oh, I was pointing at I was making a joke about Wilbur would have pooped himself, but he's dead. So I pointed at
Okay.
Wilbur.
Gotcha. Okay, you point at Wilbur.
Well, they don't live very long, so it makes sense. Yeah, okay, great. We'll handle the explosive, all that stuff. Yep, I see dead bodies. Guard, you're alive. That's interesting.
Why is that interesting? I'm very strong and hardy.
No,
Can you help them? I point to Erlen and Catherine, and also Wilbur and Saren.
Okay.
I
Why?
said, High Priestess was killed
Wait, why is it interesting that I'm alive?
because you were the
I
last
said-
one that was possessed.
I said no reason.
Looks at the rest of them. Looks at the bodies that are there, and eyes rest on the Marid. And
At no point did I learn his
hold
name.
Hold on, time out.
I'm
I
sorry.
think you didn't say his name. You just said a Marid.
Well, we didn't learn its name, did we?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You see Zaris go serious, which is something that I think, Eldrin, you've never seen before.
Yeah. I think it
He
put
looks,
the chill through Eldrin.
yeah, he looks somber. With a hint of anger, I think.
Who? Doesn't matter.
Walks over.
Can I do an insight check on him?
Sure.
I'm guiding myself. 8, 12, 13, 15. I'm distrustful of everyone now. I'm scared that he's gonna be like,
Oh,
you killed my
I
master.
did say, and I still think this counts in this. Trying to gain insight on.
Yes, you did.
On
You did.
Zaris is
I mean,
impossible.
she's still trying, but yeah.
I'd say, like, as a player, you can surmise some things, but walks over to the body.
Has he been touched at all?
Yes.
I was looking for personal effects, and Eldrin was carrying him or trying to for a moment.
And
Milo's gonna touch Zaris on the shoulder in a genuine moment of empathy, and say, and use his know your truth, and ask, did you know him?
Zaris, I think, in that moment, chooses to fail that save. As he tells you.
yes.
I'm sorry for your loss. I'm afraid he was gone before we found him.
Deception check.
Yeah.
I mean, you roll a deception check on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he meant like gone as in like Paul already had him. There was no saving him. Not like
That's
dead.
That's what
what you
Milo
meant?
means, but that's what Milo means.
Oh,
But
there's no way I would have. I didn't understand that at all. It sounded like you were saying he died before we got here.
Oh,
I think that's what you
I
said.
got what he
No.
was saying, but no, he said he was
No.
gone before we left.
Zombie rules.
Then we can, then Milo's gonna say, that's not how it sounds. That's not how I meant it to sound. He was possessed by Tall long before we got here.
Regardless of that, he's a Merid. They're not to be trusted.
Gives you an extremely stern look.
He was.
Eldrin just knows what she's been taught.
Yeah, I think that look freaks you out, though.
Yeah.
Milo's just gonna say, I'm sorry for your loss.
Don't be sorry for mine. Be sorry for the world's. Did he leave anything?
Milo has nothing to hide from Zaris. He's not going to let go of it, but he's gonna hold up the necklace with the inscription and say, it says to find a demon in case of his death. Do you know who a demon might be?
Kind of picks up the locket with just like the two fingers, kind of like to move it towards him, flips it around.
It seems you should find him.
All right. Add that to the list.
You said that there's there's bodies all around here. I can take care of them first and come back for you.
As he says this, you hear this as you look up and see Duchess has made her way down here. It's taken a long time because Duchess had to run up and then down.
Yeah. Duchess!
Such a good girl.
Don't let her lay it on us.
As she gets down here, Milo's gonna like pet her tentacles, and I knew you'd make it here.
Cool. Yeah. So I think you all get distracted by Duchess for a second, and you look back and see that Zaris is not there and the bodies aren't there either.
All four of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I can't get a hold of him anymore.
He said he'd be good. He'd be back.
He comes back. I would say also you see the Merid's body is gone as well.
Right.
You see him come back, and the twinkle is back up. As far as
Okay, so we mourn the dead, yada yada. You all need to leave.
Wilbur.
All
Wilbur and
due
Sarah
respect, they're not dead. They're in another plane.
Yes, well, that's what happens when you die. You pass over to another plane.
No, not like
No,
that.
Okay, tomato. Do you want to get out of here or not?
Yes.
Yes.
And can you bring Duchess too?
looks up at Duchess.
I mean, I can take her home if that's easier for you.
Maybe you should.
We know the way. Yeah. Okay. Milo's gonna clamber on top. Anybody else want? Anybody else need a ride?
Yes, I just wasted a 7th level spell on this. Does anybody want to come with me?
I think Eldrin finally like stands up. She's been like sitting on the ground with Norris, and I think Norris probably helps her stand up because Eldrin only has like 15 hit points. So she's going to limp over to Zaris and go with him.
Gorm will go with Zaris too.
Cool. All right.
Let Milo have some crab time.
Right.
Okay. Well, good luck.
They're all
again.
missing out.
Don't touch anything. Gives you a wink and then disappears.
I got my mom's armor. I didn't leave it behind.
Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely. Yeah, you guys. Yep.
Got it, amen.
Cool. And you guys disappear and leave Milo alone in this chamber. Milo, roll me an investigation check.
We're more enemies now.
He's got a crab now,
19.
though.
19.
Yeah.
As you climb on to Duchess immediately kind of starts to climb back up, and you notice that at a certain area of this wall, as you go up, there is a like a chasm in this wall, chasm in the inner wall.
Mm.
So there's kind of like, you want to picture like two columns, two cylinders, one inside the other.
Mm.
So the space between is where you guys are, like where the water is.
Between. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you notice that there's a chasm in the inner cylinder.
Okay. Yeah, Milo's gonna. Is it Milo sized? Can he fit into this chasm?
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, it's probably maybe 10 feet high.
Okay. Yeah, Milo's gonna say, wait, hold up. And like clamber off and climb in to this chasm.
Cool. Awesome. Very good.
Find us gold, Milo. We need gold so badly.
Milo's going on the acid trip of a lifetime.
Cool. So we're going to pause there, and we're going to come back to. I think we're going to come back to Saren and Wilbur. So at this point, you hear the weirdly like dulled again in like an underwater sort of like way. You hear this like screaming all around you, and it's just essentially like, imagine like hundreds of voices that are screaming underwater. That's what it sounds like. As you all are like, as you both are kind of like looking each way, and you see that the entire area is surrounded by these Leonin sort of figures. You see the main Leonin kind of lift up his axe in the air, and they all start to kind of surround them. You see the boy, just when you had said you need to run, seem to nod, and as soon as that axe went down, took off running. But is there anything specific you guys want to do here, or I can just role play this whole moment? I'm going to take that as a no. You guys killing me.
I'm good.
Okay. Is there anything, Saren?
Nope.
Okay. So you hear these crazy sort of cacophony of sounds that are muffled in a weird way. And you see bodies start to just pile up left and right as just person after person after person goes down, from arrows to the back, being lit on fire. You see huts all around start to go up in this very weird sort of white flame because you can't see the color. People are running, screaming. Wilbur, you duck as a woman runs right through you. And then after about maybe a full minute of this, as soon as it started, it stops. As you can see, the fires are still going, and you see about 100 Leonin kind of come out of the woods and start to search the bodies. It only took a minute to destroy this entire village. As you both kind of maybe take a second to kind of look at each other in the shock and horror of what you just saw. You look at each other, and as you kind of look back up, you see that you are no longer there. You are in this stone, seems like almost like a stone sort of basement. You can hear like weird sort of like water droplets that feel very far off. But you don't see anyone anymore. It's like the scene has shifted. And you see, looking behind you, you can see that there are stairs that lead to excuse me, that seem to lean to some sort of soft landing above. And you see below you is stairs that lead to blackness. Where do you go?
I'm not going to the blackness.
Farron just looks at Wilbur and starts walking towards the stairs that go up.
Cool. Awesome. I'd like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Both of us are just her.
I'd say just Saren.
10.
Cool. You walk up the stairs and you get to, as you walk, you start to kind of feel like it seems like it gets lighter with each step. And as you're kind of looking around, trying to kind of get an idea of your bearings, and also probably pretty rocked from the absolute horror that you just witnessed, kind of looking at the walls, trying to see things. And then you almost bump straight into Wilbur, who has not moved. So Wilbur, you see Saren walk up and then almost run into you from below.
I just can't do that again. I think for fun, Wilbur would walk up the steps.
Okay. The saving throw has already been set. You walk up and you pass by Saren again, probably maybe, I'd say it takes about maybe 30 seconds.
We don't hear anything.
No?
The water dropping.
Just water droplets.
Farron just kind of points to the darkness in the stairs that lead down.
In a last desperate attempt to try to avoid the creepy darkness, Wilbur will yell out, "Hello!"
You don't hear anything? You actually hear, I think, like, as you yell out like, "Hello," which you hear in your head, in your inner ear. Then you hear, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." There's an echo, but even the echo itself seems to have been blocked out.
Oh, well, I guess we can proceed with caution down to the creepy darkness.
Okay. You guys walk down together. And you continue to do this. You're not really sure how much time passes. I'm sure there's a couple moments where you stop and you look back up to try to get an idea of like, have we made any sort of movement? And you're just not entirely sure. Doesn't seem to get any darker. Doesn't seem to get any lighter. It's like the area of view that you are in, if it were lit by a lamp, the lamp itself seems to just be following you. Do you just continue to go?
Yep.
Okay.
Saren's going to. Is there like. Well, I would assume like walls on either side.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna start to try to like kind of feel it and see if. Like, can she just go through it? Because you could go through the people.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, you touch the wall and you feel like it is an actual wall. It seems like there is a sense of like, it doesn't feel like a wall. Actually, like, it's almost like there's a force that's actually keeping you from touching the actual wall. So you don't get to feel the texture of the wall. But you can tell that you can't go through it. So you guys, unless you guys want to do anything else, you guys continue down. And in a way of saying it's at least hours, if not days, if not months, you have no concept of time down here. But you also don't seem to get tired. You just keep going. I'm gonna say Wilbur, give me a wisdom saving throw.
17.
Okay. After what feels like an eternity or an hour, and again, you're not sure what the difference is at this point, you finally touch down to a landing. And you see a door that looks wooden in a blackened sort of way, because again, all you can see is that black and white. And you see on the as kind of like a crest on top of the door, you can see what looks to be the skull of a humanoid figure on that door, like kind of pressed into the center of the door.
Open the door.
You don't see a handle.
I guess I won't open the door.
I'm also going to say, Saren, at a certain point, this is your journey. And Wilbur's just along for the ride.
Can she kind of inspect around the door to see if there's like if you can see under it or?
Seems to be sealed.
Can she reach up and touch the skull?
You reach up and touch the skull, and again, you have that same sort of like force blocking. So you can feel even the bumps of where that like force is like keeping from the like skull, from the eyelets, things like that, the jaw. It just doesn't seem like you can feel the texture of this thing.
What if I knock on the door?
Go for it. Nothing.
Darren sees that and is gonna knock harder.
Okay. As you start to kind of wrap your hand on the door, you see the skull shift slightly, like in a crooked sort of way, looking,
Ew.
pointing towards you. What do you want?
Where are we?
No answer.
She knocks again.
Still kind of pointed at you.
How do we get out of here? I want to go back to my friends.
I want you to say that exactly the way you say it. So, like, I just want to be certain of how you're saying this. So just say that sentence again for me.
How do we get out of here? I want to go back to my friends.
No answer. Guar, stop helping. This is Saren's journey.
I'm gonna turn the freaking chat off. She like puts her hands on the door, says, "Let me go back to me, back to Honoria. I'm not supposed to be here. Wherever this is."
No answer. I'll allow in this moment, Saren, roll me a history check.
$11.
Okay. Roll for that. Okay. I think a few minutes go by, we'll say, of trying to figure out what is going on here. And you see it still kind of pointed at you. You actually see the mouth is slightly open. And you think back to like maybe in like a visual memory sort of way, you try to like get the idea like, okay, what did I miss here? And do you remember what the skull said to you? I'm asking, do you remember what the skull said to you?
Can you repeat it?
With an 11, I will say the skull said, "What do you want?"
I want to go back to my friends. I want to not be possessed by this fucking demon thing. I want to go back to my body.
Okay, cool. I would stop there. What is it worth?
What do you mean? What is it worth?
No answer.
This thing better not be talking to me.
What do you want?
No answer.
I don't know what I have to offer. I just let me go back.
No sign of anything from the skull. It's just pointed in your direction, facing you, mouth open.
Just take what you want.
I'm going to say that's close enough that you hear the skull say, "That's not how it works." And recognizing that the most likely the devil's in the details of this question, as it required a specific answer the first time. You think back to the question, what is it worth?
I don't know. I'm stupid. You're gonna have to help me out here.
You're not stupid. You can do this. So let's I can talk you through with this. Let's say, what does that mean to you? You said, I want to return to my body. I want to be there for my friends. The response was, what is it worth?
Everything.
You say that. Door opens. can push through.
Okay.
You push through the doorway. And Wilbur, I think you try to step through and you realize that there's something that is keeping you from being able to walk into this room. But I will allow a perception check one last time.
15.
15 makes a DC. You see a figure that is... all you see is blackness. You see this figure that almost seems to be glowing of itself in this, like... I would give you a color, but you can't see colors down here. It just seems to be glowing by some sort of, like, dark light. You see a figure that is mostly smoke. That is essentially kind of like covered by the smoke that is just kind of shifting around, and it looks to be sitting on a very essentially like kind of like a high chair sort of thing over what looks to be a very large ornate drafting desk. There's pieces of bone that kind of like map around this area. I would say it almost like it, rather than like a drafting desk, another way to kind of look at it is that it actually kind of looks like a giant, almost like a giant music stand in a way, as it is just like kind of facing up. And I kind of think you see it off to the side, and you see a figure. You see the figure kind of turn and look, and you see the skull of this face, and you know immediately who this is, and you're the only one who knows who this is.
I was just gonna ask if this looks like one of the fellow primordials that I've met before.
You remember looking back at the primordials that were meeting, there was someone who was not talking, who was sitting at the highest space. And you remember, I think, in this moment that there was a name that was given, I believe, from Cerilius, and saying that you don't talk to him. And you remember the name Venasepa.
Venasepa.
And I think with that, it's a little early, but I think we're going to end tonight's session. Good job, Kayla. You did it.
All I could picture with that skull on the door, you guys remember the Halloween Town movies?
Yes.
Oh, the cab driver?
Yeah.
Skull heads.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you were talking about who's the like
Benny.
cab driver.
Oh, the cab driver.
Benny, the cab driver.
Benny the cab driver, yeah.
Picture their little skull phones.
Yeah. They're walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Saren's about to make a deal with Venasepa.
But and she can't even hear me.
Nope. Yeah, every like conversation you guys had to like try to have back to each other, like the other one couldn't hear. But I thought that was interesting. That was really funny. Cool. So I know that seemed like kind of out there, but it definitely is. It's definitely something that is a interesting sort of, in my opinion, interesting sort of connection to some other stuff that's been going on. So any questions about that session? A lot of stuff that hit.
Do we know what that first memory was with the Leonin, or was it just like a random memory because of where we were?
It definitely wasn't with the Leonin, like where
the first one, yeah.
It definitely wasn't a random memory.
Okay.
It seemed to be one that, and I would say, memory is not a great word because.
Maybe like,
although I think I kind of insinuated by the idea of saying like you're not there.
Right.
Was it like a historical event?
I think you get the idea that this was something that happened.
Okay.
And you changed that history.
Uh-oh. Why did I have a feeling that talking to that kid was a bad idea?
Every time we talk to kids, it's a bad idea.
I didn't say
Pretty
it was a bad
much.
idea, but it is something that literally, because my thought process was on that, like, kids are weird. Kids sometimes just,
Kids grow up to be crazy demons that possess people.
Or,
Oh my god, it was tall.
Well, another way to look at it too is that, like, there's like kids also, like, like imaginary friends, like that sort of thing. Like, there's things that like kids kind of like either choose to make up or catch, but like even in like folklore sort of things, like it involves children because children are the ones that would see them and react to them.
Venicepa was the pillar of smoke, right?
Venicepa was the pillar of smoke, yes.
Okay, that's what I've written down.
And remember, this was a meeting of the planes, and there was only one plane that they were able to do all this in. Do you remember what it was?
The primordial?
Sure.
Oh,
No.
I thought it was the primordial plane.
There's 4 primordial planes.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking, yep. It was, I had it
air,
written
right?
down.
Nope. Air was
No, it wasn't air.
Air was where we first met Cerilius.
Yeah.
Oh.
So specifically, they couldn't stay on the material plane. They certainly couldn't stay on either sort of primordial plane, soil. There was only one place that they could meet.
Yeah, I can't find it. I don't have it written down.
It was.
So, Kayla, we have a lot to talk about as far as your character goes. That's a major shift. So ironically, the way that we had this set was the idea of like your saving throw was to see if the potion worked. That's what your Constitution saving throw was. So nat 20, it definitely worked. The question was where you go with it. So you went, left.
I totally forgot that the password to get into the plane that I still don't have what it written down is, but was magic is in the blood. So that didn't start with tall.
Correct. It did not start with tall.
He just stole it.
That he did. I'll tell you straight up that he did.
Ethereal plane.
The ethereal plane.
The ethereal plane.
Which means, by the way, that at least the beings that you saw that were close to you were part of the ethereal plane, which means that they were no longer of the material plane, even in this, in the world of this memory of you being able to see what was going on. Which is why you could see, and I probably kind of fell apart on explaining this, which is why you could see the Leonin that had got out and gotten off the horse. You couldn't see the other ones that were around, and you could also see all the townsfolk because they are of this plane. They're of this plane, and they're basically essentially living this over and over again. But again, you changed something.
Great. Love it. Because every time that happens in the movies and TV shows, it goes great for the character, right?
Don't worry, that kid. Sorry. I was gonna say, don't worry, that kid ends up getting kidnapped and brought into a circus, where we also then interact with him and don't save his life.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet because the weird thing on this is something that happened in the past. So, so for you to affect the past means that you're not entirely sure what this did to the future.
Hey, there were a lot of good things in Back to the Future that became good that got changed. So
Yeah,
I've never seen
I
it,
mean,
so.
I'll be honest with you. That was kind of my first thought. Was like, oh, cool, he's the puppet master. But I don't know. Any guesses on what the race was of these people?
Oh,
they were hairy, right? The hairy knuckled baby.
Yeah.
Wombats.
No, I would be very. I would totally.
How
allow
tall are
Wilbur
they?
To know. They were a
Tall are
little
they?
shorter, so like essentially like somewhere between 5 to 6 feet. Like none of them were over
Okay.
6 feet tall.
So not halflings.
No.
I just say hairy knuckles and feet.
aren't there like goat-like people?
No, but that sounds awesome.
Oh, like a satyr? Is that what you're talking about?
No, you didn't see horns.
Oh,
And I think satyrs are a little taller. If I'm remembering correctly.
Are they?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
I thought they were. Maybe I'm just thinking of Fern in Critical Role and she's taller.
It's funny because I was thinking of Mr. Tumnus, who is definitely short.
well, that's what I was thinking of. Is Mr. Tumnus? Mr. Tumnus's name.
It doesn't break anything to tell you guys this. These are shifters.
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Nope, never even heard of them.
Essentially, like demi-humans. There's like there's a part of them that they are human, but they're a little feral.
That's funny. My mind, when you said like weirdly, like not you didn't say weirdly hairy, but you're describing them as like weirdly hairy. My mind immediately went to Beorn from The Hobbit. Is like he's a skin changer. And he turns into a big black bear, but in his human form, he's like covered in this black hair.
See, now I'm thinking about the feral kid from Mad Max with the boomerang.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about, or was it the Road
like
Warrior?
The original Mad Max?
Yeah, like with Mel Gibson.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't know if I've even seen. I know what's his butt is the star, but I don't know if I've even actually seen the movie.
Definitely worth watching. They're like the bad guy with the goalie mask. Just walk away. We'll spare your lives. Pretty good. I mean, it's terrible, but it's really good.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that was cool. Wilbur choosing to come along for the ride was crazy. Like, so you saying that, I was like, man, there's like, that is, I never said that wasn't, that you couldn't move between planes and that. So, yeah, that was cool. I love that.
Wilbur is going to become a plane walker and is going to bring us places.
Yeah, I should just switch you to Horizon Walker. You're so much more on the, or Fey Wanderer.
Now I'm gonna watch Saren make a deal with the devil, and not be able.
You're not, because I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this to you. You couldn't pass through, and the door would have just shut on you after. Yeah, you're not seeing this deal go down.
Son of a bitch.
But for the record, Saren said it's worth everything. So
You're not gonna kill Wilbur, are you?
You said everything.
I mean, Wilbur also said, when I was looking back through my notes, what's it worth to kill Tall? And Wilbur said pretty much everything. His life, the life of his friends. So.
Oh, yeah.
Saren said she wanted to be back with her friends, back in her body.
That included Wilbur.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, you can't trade Darth. I already did that.
Maybe it's like
I love that in this group when things get heavy, it's like, okay, cool, we got it. Someone come up with a joke really quick. This is getting.
And it's almost always.
Well, maybe it's like Coco rules, where there's like the final death, where maybe we could do like give Darth the final death for his soul.
Yeah.
So we could kill him twice.
So he'll never actually die as long as we keep bringing him up.
Yeah.
As long as we remember him.
the day that Eldrin has to relive a historical event, and it's watching Darth get killed.
God.
We could kill. What was his name? The. Shoot.
E-Wolf?
No.
The one that we always forget his name.
The
Oh,
Warforged.
But he's
the
already
one-
dead. He got hunged.
Yeah, he's already dead.
Warforged.
Oh, Snapper?
Yeah.
Oh, Snapper.
We kill
We didn't have
Snapper.
enough emotion. We didn't have enough emotional attachment.
Exactly. It's worth Snapper.
has been written out
actually
of.
did.
Oh
this
man!
series.
All right.
Snapper is the Tiberius of the.
Oh God, Tiberius.
Snapper is the Mandela effect of our land.
He was just
What's
so
funny is that I've thought before about like bringing up like just because like the backstory stuff is always fun to be able to bring up even when it's like a group backstory thing. So I've thought of the idea of like bringing Snapper back at one point and just being like, and I even like in the middle of that I was like, no, never mind, it's not worth it. Because everybody would be like, oh yeah, no, you could totally kill him. Go. For
He's
it.
Snapper's the Judy Winslow of the group.
Kill her.
Just write her out for no reason. Just disappeared one day. Just never. They act like nothing ever happened.
I was wondering, which is why I specifically asked, like Guar, as you were like sitting and like trying to like you just sat to pray. I
Yeah.
was wondering if like that's why I asked like where were you? I
Yeah.
was wondering if anyone was gonna actually like connect with the Rifu.
Oh, because I was like 5-10 feet away. I didn't touch the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is really funny too, because like Eldrin, you could have taken a moment to be able to like just really quick go and touch the wall, but you're.
Yeah, no, she would not. It's sacred. She hasn't earned it.
That's fair. I love that.
I wanted to as Larian, but I was like, no, Eldrin's a rules.
Yeah.
Kills her friend.
I
Eldrin
think
has stopped
don't read-
Guar from touching it.
Now that she knows what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so I rolled a nat 1 on Broomhilda talking back to you, which would have probably also given you some stuff. Because Broomhilda is nowhere near. Yeah. As far as that
Ward is
memory
necessary.
goes, that Milo got, I wouldn't put too much stock in that. I kind of just figured that was like someone's test of land.
Mm-hmm. For a second, I thought it was until you said it was the Rifu. I thought it was a flash to the last time you gave Milo a vision of like the future.
Mhm.
I thought it was tied to that, but then he said the
I love
Rifu, and
that.
I was like, oh, it's some other person. We're good.
Yeah, that wasn't you. Because that vision itself, there's so many things that I think has to happen before that even comes to pass yet. So.
Yeah.
This is cool, guys. This is cool. Very cool.
So you guys are back at the castle. Milo's stuck in the Refussie. And we're trying to figure out. We're trying to see if Saren's going to come back to us.
And Wilbur.
And Wilbur.
You better come back.
Well, technically speaking, if Wilbur dies,
Wilbur dies.
there's no bringing back.
Don't remind me.
Which means he's not allowed to die. Problem.
Come back harder.
Wilbur's never say die.
I will say, in regards to like the concept of the deal that you're making, I would include that in. Saren, if you understand what I'm saying.
Let Wilbur die, Kayla.
Yeah, or you could just let him die.
I'm not gonna let Wilbur die.
Oh.
Making a deal. So if it isn't totally clear, Venesepa essentially is the like Grim Reaper.
Mm.
He is death himself, or themselves. Well, fun, gang. So that was fun. I liked that one.
Did you
And we
roll
made it
for it? Did you roll for who would be hit with the tall energy, like, or did you just
did.
pick Saren? Okay,
I did,
so I
but
was like,
also
that's
it
best
made
for Kayla.
sense. Yeah, I would say like I did roll for it. I think I was actually only rolling for it whether or not it hit Saren or whoever was directly below, which I think might have been Guar. Like I wouldn't have had an NPC handle it because I think Norris was there too, but I think Guar was the next one that was closest.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So.
This is all I can picture. Thinking of the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
You guys remember that show, The Grim Adventures of
Billy and Mandy, Jamaican accent.
Yeah, a little scarier than that, I think.
He's a happy Grim Reaper.
I mean, he is a skull. Maybe this is what's on the door.
Yeah, I love that. Very cool. Let's go ahead and do our kudos and things that we're excited about moving forward. This is a normal week. We're gonna go through normally. So we're gonna start with Lorianne.
Kudos to you, Kayla, because I know how hard and frustrating it can be when any DM, not just Joe, wants a specific answer and you have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. No offense, Joe, but I know that feeling of being I don't know what you want from me.
Here's the thing. And I'll be completely honest with you, and you can be mad at me if you want. It wasn't that I didn't want a specific answer, but it was something that had to directly be answered.
Yeah.
And I knew.
No, I get that. Yeah.
That as far as like stuff with Kayla, I mean, Kayla, I think you're well enough aware on this. You very much are like, I want to take the backseat and let someone else be the face on this, which I totally get. But in this case, I was like, it's gonna be tricky to move your story forward without involvement directly from you. Does that make sense?
I'm sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to say because I've been there before.
Kayla,
where
you were gonna say
I
something. Hold on, time out.
Oh yeah,
you
go
said
on.
you were gonna say something.
I don't know. No. I just don't know what to say sometimes. I'm sorry.
No, you did great.
I did my best.
Mm-hmm.
No, you did great. I think that was kind of the issue. I think you were just, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like it was just like, I don't want to say the wrong thing here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was no good answer, I don't think. I don't think there was a good answer to any of that. So I think you did great on that. So it was all as constructive as possible on it, but also recognizing, again, like I said, to move your story forward, this is where you're directly involved. Cool. All right. Lorianne, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say no, because so kudos to you, Kayla, because I know that can be a difficult thing to be in, but you did a really great job. And you now get to experience the horribleness of making a deal to save yourself or others. So have fun with that. But yeah, because it is really, I think sometimes we tend to, as players, overthink things and there's a perfect answer, but there's not, because I always do that because I'm like, I don't know what he's looking for something that I can't give him. But yeah, I'm excited to see where that's going to go and what kind of deal you're going to make. It's very exciting. And also for us all to be together again, because I like when we're all together and not separated.
Right.
See, I overthought the left or right decision.
Yes, I would have done the same.
I was like, well, I can't pick right, because that's obviously the right, that's the right decision. So the left is gonna be the right decision.
Our joke in my old group was,
I think you made the correct decision. Do you want me to tell you what the right was?
Sure.
I was gonna ask.
So you were able to make a choice on whether or not this potion worked or not. So your nat 20 essentially gave you the choice to do that, but I couldn't just outright be like, do you want to do you want to have to make a deal with death, or do you want to have to go through your entire existence also being controlled by Tall whenever whenever that can happen? Which again, I mean, kind of neither of those were great decisions, but I think you chose the better one.
So wait, could it have been that none of this happened to Saren? Because it seems like no matter what, if it happened to Saren or Guar, it's a horrible decision either way.
If you remember correctly, like looking at Saras like came to Guar and was like, "Oh, you're still alive."
Yeah.
Zaris gave the potion to Guar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that was why.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because he thought I took the potion.
Okay. Interesting.
But no, I just forgave myself.
Yep.
I love that.
What better way to get rid of the thing that is controlling your soul than to just give it up for a little bit and dying?
Okay. Cool.
Yep. Zaris the bastard. Oh, speaking of, I never actually thought so I had an idea that there was a connection between the Merid and Zaris. I never pictured for a second that was going to actually manifest in any way. That was something I was like, that's just for me. And then you said exactly where you were, and he was like, yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah, because he went here and he would smoke weed with the Merid.
I don't hate that idea.
Yeah.
So that was cool. All right, sorry. Let's continue on. Did you say the things you were excited about, Lorian?
Yeah, I'm excited to find out what kind of deal Saren makes, and then also for us to all get back together. Yeah. To get to the castle and figure out what the hell's going on, and hopefully Inori doesn't blow up. So.
Yes. Cool. Guar.
I agree with everything Lorianne said. Yeah, Kayla, I know what it's like to feel like you need to say the right thing, but you're not sure what that is. So I thought you did great. And I'm looking forward to seeing what deal you strike next week. And
or not.
Or not. Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. You're not here.
Oh,
which is even better,
man.
I think. I think that gives plenty of time for us to actually talk about it as players and then try to work it out. If you're cool with that, Kayla.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do I have to skip my concert?
Make us believe you're dead for a long time.
I do want to role play that scenario, but I think it's also best, for especially the I think you made great strides tonight, honestly. So I think there's also if we know what to expect, that might be a little bit easier for you too on being able to handle that.
I'm curious what that means for Wilbur if Saren's not here.
Yeah, Wilbur's a part of my deal. Wilbur comes back too.
Right. I kudos to Milo talking to Zaris because Zaris. I think that was fun. I like seeing Milo starting to assert himself a lot more. Because like you said, I mean, he's the Archmage of Enoria, and he's the most powerful person maybe in our known universe, and Milo's just giving him what for. And I appreciated that. So I'm looking forward to getting through all of this shit so we can get back to the main plot.
The main shit.
We're on some side quests right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, I'm excited to get back and resolve this political turmoil, and for Guar to get Celeste back, and also it was, I think Guar not being the face is very difficult for him, and when I say him, I mean me, and so it was really interesting to just sit back and let things happen, because Guar is a man of action. So, but it's actually, he's been support 2 weeks in a row. So it's been interesting to kind of try that on.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
I also loved the interaction between Milo and Zaris. You putting a hand on Zaris' shoulder, I rolled for that. And then the dice told me, nope, you're letting this happen. I said, okay. So it was very cool.
Yeah, Milo, that's one of those that like he's so like in Brunte he knew like he knew the leaders and like was around the most powerful people constantly because there was like 70 people.
Right.
And they all shared a bathroom. They just knew each other. And so the like pomp and circumstance and like actual power makes no sense to him. He's like, yeah, you're a human. You wipe with the same hand I do. It's fine. We're great.
Right. Everybody poops.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why with Zaris, Milo's like, yeah, you're a weird guy, but like, so's my aunt. I don't know.
It was my Uncle Bob.
Yeah. Now he's weirder.
Uncle Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, and I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Cool. Miranda, along for the ride.
Kudos. Whoops. Kudos to you, Kayla, for taking on the very difficult role of being the primary person on stage. I completely lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. I am very excited to see what Venesepa wants, and how this deal is going to play out. And I'm still really excited to get the fuck out of the ocean. I'm tired of
You can breathe.
You can breathe.
Wait, yeah.
I
Did
don't
Jamie
even know-
say his kudos?
I don't think Wilbur even
think
knows
so.
that.
Oh,
Well-
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay. Apologies. Miranda, finish your thought.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I got nothing else.
Okay. Love it. And then I apologize again. Jamie, you're up.
Apology not accepted. No, yeah, for sure. Kudos to Wilbur and Miranda and Kayla. That was weird, and navigating that was like I would not have navigated that well. So Mazel tov, that was really cool. I'm really excited to I'm excited to have some crab time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to I'm excited to kind of like sort through the like political spaghetti that we are leaving, like now with the Ixochitl not being like controlled by a cult,
Mhm.
or their like cult leader being dead.
Yes.
Like are we going to be like, hey, still maybe equal rights because they're still sentient beings, but like they're not evil anymore, so there's that. Or like they're not being controlled by someone evil anymore, so there's that.
That's interesting. I was wondering how that was going to go, because I think that is something that is, both things are 100% true.
What if Eltrin just
No.
like becomes the mother of the Ixochitl?
Mother makes a channel. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but I love it. Also, Zaris is not a very good friend if he didn't know that his friggin' Marid friend was possessed by Tal and becoming a cult leader for these Ixochitl. So he hasn't checked in a while.
Did you not know or not care?
Important point that I don't think you know how old Zaris is either.
Well, I mean, Triton's only like 250 years.
Uh-huh.
Or 200 years.
Except for extremely powerful wizards.
Yeah. There's also a lot of magic.
Yeah.
It's just been the same guy, but he's like, yes, my grandfather was the archmage before me, and before him was my great grandfather. It's just been him.
It's just been him the whole time. He just has to alter self every like 100
just a little
years.
bit.
Yeah.
He's the big bad guy.
I mean, I kind of like, we're joking about it, but that's kind of how I figure it happens. Like,
I love it. I mean, yeah, like an all-powerful wizard, like
it's a Doctor
can do
Who
whatever they want.
situation.
Yeah.
Right.
It just regenerates.
It also, like, if you think about the idea of living for an insane amount of time, you would act differently. You would be weird. Like, you'd be off the wall.
It's like, has anybody watched Sandman on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That episode with the guy that gets out of that cheats death.
Yes. I love that episode.
Oh, it's really good.
Uh,
Anyway, that's me.
Cool. Awesome. And last but not least, Kayla.
Yay!
Person of the hour.
Kudos to Miranda for just like tagging along into the terrifying ethereal plane with me. And Joe I love the Zaros just knows the Merid, and I'm excited to see what comes about with all of that. And excited to see what happens with the Ixochittles and making a deal with death.
Do you mind, Kayla, if we won't say specifically what you chose and what that entails, but do you mind me telling them the 2 options I gave you?
Sure.
Okay.
I also am interested in like how big of a deal the other one would have been versus what I chose.
We could talk about it. So I'll say, I won't say what you chose for sure. So just so that you can, because I think it's fair to say, I think never mind. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk to you in person I'm going to talk to you one-on-one on that. But the choice was subclass change or transformation.
Oh.
So I won't tell you what Kayla chose, but it's gonna be cool.
Cool. I'm excited.
Yes, and Wilbur gained another level in the primordial thing after literally taking out a primordial, or an elemental being of a primordial nature. So that's super cool. That's super neat. I mean, if Wilbur lives to see another day, we'll see.
He'll live.
Stop it.
With that, y'all, I think we'll end it there. So I love you all very much. I hope you all have an amazing rest of the week. Kayla, we'll see you in 2 weeks. It gives us plenty of time to talk about how that works. And I'm excited for you guys to finally be able to sit down and talk to Karen Erickson, who's just been patiently waiting.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, just patiently waiting.
Patiently waiting. All right, cool. All right, guys, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.